Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup, breakdown, even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, NBA to political props. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet online. The game starts here.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, money like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. You're
listening to the sports coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
I know back in the day, like Joe was an outstanding guard, and so that could that happen?
Yeah, I think with any offensive lineman, and there's some other positions where this is applicable too. You make an assessment and a vision of where you have them, and if that doesn't work out, you look at their strengths and weaknesses, and say maybe we can place them there. I think with Trevor, look, we didn't do him any favors. He comes as a rookie, he gets hurt, he misses 10 games. We play him the back half of that season, primarily in a jumbo role, and he did some good things, and then he gets hurt, and he has no off season, and then we throw him in there as the starter, week one. I think a lot of that falls on us in terms of, where he was and what he was ready to do. And so I'm still pretty high on Trevor Penning. I think we all are. But we recognize that, hey, look, we've got to do a better job in terms of development and preparing him to be ready. And I think we'll do that this offseason. I think we'll have a good plan for him.
And maybe what the decision to bring Dennis back up fairly easy one, and also like how much did the finishing 4-1 over the decision?
Yeah. Look, here's what I think. I think sometimes, the easy thing to do, the lazy thing to do is look at the results of a season and say, it's the coach's fault or it's the quarterback's fault. I think oftentimes you have to look beyond that. I was prepared for this question, right? Chuck Noll, his first 3 years, Hall of Fame coach. He was 1-13, 5-9, 6-8. But they recognize that this guy's a good football coach, right? Bill Belichick, here's his first 3 seasons, 6-10, 7-9, 7-9. Tom Landry, 0-11, 4-9, 5-8, 4-10, 5-8. Hall of Fame coaches, all of them. Bill Walsh, first year, 2-14, second year, 6-10. So I think the easy thing to do is just look at the results and say, oh no, we've got to have a change. You got to look beyond that. What are the reasons why we were 9-8 instead of 13-4? And look, it's collective. It's the players, it's the coaches, it's me. It's our personnel staff, our roster. It's variables sometimes that we don't have any control of. And so my assessment is Dennis Allen is a good coach. And
This didn't age too well, did it? All right, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Code with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Nah, the gum chewing, the this happened at the end of the press conference. You can obviously see Slick Mickey is not as slick as you would like him to be. Actually, Slick Mickey is very unslick in this one. He's very unsettled. His gum chewing was totally unprofessional. His commentary, he was actually right on the Trevor Penning thing, and that's pretty much what I was saying in defense of Trevor Penning prior to Mickey making these comments. I was like, Saints didn't do him right. He almost said exactly what I said verbatim when I was talking about him prior to this late last season, of how they did him, bringing him into the season. So give him a plus for that, but not on this Dennis Allen thing. But it is a cavalcade of comedy when it comes down to Mickey Loomis in his commentary, and he will say just about anything to protect Dennis Allen, but in particular to protect his decision to make him a coach. See, this is ego driven. But in the end, I just wanted to play that for the family members because it was, it was very interesting and funny. Now, y'all guys remember this one? Y'all remember this one after the loss last year? Mickey Loomis, they had a fan that was saying this, or a supporter of the team that was saying this. Y'all remember this?
Come on, Mickey. It's on you, Mickey. You got to make a move tonight, Mickey. He's not ready for this, Mickey. You're killing the city. You're killing a reputation. 3rd and 1, they tried to throw a pass. Mickey Loomis.
He ain't lying.
Come on, Mickey. It's on you, Mickey. You got to make a move tonight, Mickey. He's not ready for this, Mickey. You're killing the city. You're killing a reputation. 3rd and 1, they tried to throw a pass. Mickey.
Oh, man. We done seen a lot, haven't we, family? This gentleman here has not been right. Look at him. He looks pretty sick. Oh, he was horrible at this one, man. His face was flush. His eyes was bulging. He was chewing gum, and he lied at the end of the press conference saying that he was chewing the gum to stop him from coughing. And I asked the family members, I said, fam, y'all, we got gum chewers that listen to the show, obviously. They got a lot of people out there that like gum. And I had to ask the family members, have you guys ever chewed gum, chewed gum to stop from coughing? They just say any damn thing. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, fam, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. I wanted to start the show with a little levity, man. I wanted to make the Who Dat Nation laugh, man. And most certainly we need a laugh after what we seen yesterday. We seen the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come in and turn the Saints into the Skunkaneers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Fam, it was awful, but a little levity lightens the mood. So I wanted to bring that in. So shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all so kindly for being in the stream. Much love to you guys. Black Major, shout out to your brother Brandon. Shout out to you, JT, Pelicans Nola, Jamaica. Shout out to you. All right, L-Dub, what's popping, fam? Good to see you. All right, Backdoor Joe, much love. Debbie, big ups to you. Good to see you. What's popping with y'all? Brother Gundams in this thing. Shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you, brother Pete's in this thing. Swag fan. What's happening, Swag fan? Big ups, Charlie. Roll 504 Cole, Mr. O. Shout out to your brother. Much love to you as well. All right, but what's up, brother Greg? Brian is in this thing. Shout out to everybody. What's up, JT? Much love. Booker. Big ups to your fam. Argentine Dogo. Big ups to you as well. Good to see y'all and everybody, man. Marley Mall. What's popping to my boy Marley Mall? Much love. Adrian Bonds. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. GM Kev is always present. Big ups to you. Grizzo says that gum will forever be that's the comedy, bro. I will try to find all of Mickey's gaffes and really insulting moments because nobody has ever put that together. So if you guys put it together before me, send it to me and I will play it on the stream. And I'm talking about all of Mickey Loomis's gaffes. What you just seen about the comparing of Dennis Allen, throwing that in there. If y'all could find the section, because I can't find it, when Dennis Allen was being interviewed, I think it was right before halftime of the Saints and Arizona game when he just told them we're going to just keep letting them do what they do. Remember that? If y'all could put that in there. You got to also put in there Mickey Loomis saying that he doesn't do in-season evaluations because he's too emotional. You got to put that in there. You also have to put Mickey Loomis telling you that you're not qualified. He said it twice. You got to find both of those, put it in there. And there's a couple of other things too. Him telling the media that they're lazy and unsophisticated. He said that. And I was like, this dude is a low budget elitist. He's a low budget elitist. Dude, you what do you, Gates and them don't even talk like that out in the open. Mickey is losing it. He's saying the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet. He gets to there and said, Mickey, hold on, Mickey, what are you doing? What are you talking about here? Mickey, you're not supposed to tell the people that, they're not qualified. What are you doing? Well, God damn it. Listen, I'm getting too old for this. Listen, I'll say what I want to feel. They're coming from my head. And Mickey, you can't say that. You're getting it all jumbled up. You're supposed to keep that quiet if you feel it. Well, God damn it. I'm going to say what I want to say. God damn it. So it is what it is. All right. What's up, Lewis? TJ, shout out to you. What's up, Barbara? Shout out to Barbara as well. Good to see y'all, man. Crusher, brother. Crusher, how you doing, sir? Appreciate you as well. Being in the stream. Big Valley. Much love. Everybody, man. Everybody in the stream. Much love to y'all, man. I appreciate you. I see you, T-Roy. Ramon, shout out to you. Ty, I see you. Rush Hour. Yin, big ups to you. Tuck, Student, big ups to everybody, man. Brother Joseph, I see you, fam. Much love. Rush Hour, what's happening? So big ups to everybody, man. Brother Wallace, what's up, fam? Anyway, man, let's get into this injury report, man, because my goodness, the injuries, oh my goodness, the injuries. By now, y'all probably already seen this one right now about the Ian Rappaport tweet several hours ago. One to keep an eye out, Saints electric wide receiver return man Rashid Shaheed did not practice today for a knee injury described as concerning. If I had that, my drama button when it goes dun, 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 I used to have that on there. I'm going to have to put that back on there. But that's very interesting to say the least. Here, very concerning. So the Saints, man, my goodness, the injuries abound early on. This needs to be studied. This is a very interesting development in the NFL world. So many issues and injuries early on. Now it just basically becomes a survival game. That's what it is. It becomes a survival game. It's a survival game now. Who can kind of go through the maze, who can get through the maze of injuries, get their guys back and put together wins. That's what it comes down to, is surviving these injuries and moving forward. So how do we decide, or how do we live through these injuries? How do we adjust with life in the NFL with all these injuries? Well, you got to get creative. You got to get guys involved. That's what the greatest protection against injuries, to the best of your ability, is a solid depth chart. That's what it comes down to. So you got to be forever evaluating. You got to be forever looking who's out there, bringing whoever which you need to bring in, keeping guys, the right people there. And you got to move guys in, got to move guys out. That's how we've been dealing with it. Now on this level, this is a very elevated level of injury that I've seen in a very long time. And JT says he's hurt too. A.T. Perry gone, bro. He's on Sean Payton's team. Don't you know? He's on Sean Payton's squad. Just when you thought you needed a wide receiver, you had one. A 6'4" one with 4.3 something odd speed. and he was hurt. They say, but Payton seen he wasn't hurt and put him on his team. You might see him Thursday. Who knows? Oh my goodness, right? Just when you thought you couldn't take it at the wide receiver position, now you need wide receivers. Very interesting. Rashid Shaheed, like I said, could miss some time. We showed that knee concerning issue. Shout out to the Saints News Network, brother John Hendricks on the scoop, dropping it down. And his article is basically based on what Ian Rappaport and Nick Underhill were reporting on about what's going on with this club, with this team, and all of the injuries. It's just a part of the freaking game. We got to adjust and keep it moving. That's just how it is. All right, so anyway, let's get right into it, man. Let's move into this situation, talk about the 17 players on the Saints injury list for Monday. And of course, you guys know Thursday Night Football is the game in which we will see the Saints and Denver Broncos. So this will be the third game of 10 days. And you're just banged up. Almost, if you can survive the gauntlet, you'll get that mini bye and you can kind of heal up. Now, there's talk that Taysom could be available, but Cesar Ruiz with a knee was DNP'd. Derek Carr, of course, was DNP'd. Lucas Patrick is DNP'd again. Pete Werner's DNP'd. Rashid Shaheed is probably missed this game. Chris Olave is in the concussion protocol. And even Michael Thomas talked about that. It was a tweet by Michael Thomas. Let me see if I can find it. I think I retweeted it. Michael Thomas was watching the game, and he's seen the hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. He's seen here it is right here. Hold on, let me show it for y'all. And he's seen the hit, the helmet to helmet hits. You can see right here. You know, you can see the player making helmet to helmet there. And he tweeted, damn, no targeting? No, it wasn't. They didn't even say nothing about it. That's why I kind of clowned and said, I kind of stuck a middle finger up to the NFL, because they full of it. They pretend to be all about health and safety, but that was a clear and obvious helmet to helmet hit. There was no flag on the play. Chris Olave was knocked out of the game to never return. That was a blow to the Saints offense. So we basically lost him, and there was no penalty to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for helmet to helmet, something they supposed to be watching out for. But once again, the part-time referees didn't do anything there, which is stupid. That should have been something should have happened there. So like I said, they enforce these rules. They just a bunch of clowns to me. But anyway, let's keep it bucking and moving, man. Even Michael Thomas said, man, damn, man, there was no target. You can throw somebody out of there. They do more in college than the pros do. All right, Chris Olave, like I said, concussion, he was DNP'd. He's in the protocol. Does he clear the protocol by Thursday? I don't know. And I would have to, if I was forced to bet online, I would say no, he doesn't clear. Taysom Hill rib was limited in practice. Payton Turner was limited with a knee. Elvin has a hand issue. He was limited. Granderson with a neck, limited. Nate Shepard, groin, limited. JT Gray, calf, limited. Alante, shoulder, limited. Cedric Wilson, ankle, limited. Tyrann Mathieu with a forearm, he fully practiced. Willie Gay with a hand, fully practiced. And Bub Means had a hand situation, but he fully practiced as well. So toward the back end of the list, not too bad. But when you look at the other stuff, your offensive line, you're seeing two starters, which is Ruiz and Lucas Patrick there. You have to adjust to that. You're going to be adjusting with life without your wide receivers, life without Olave right now, life without Rashid Shaheed. So two of your starting wide receivers out. You probably going to get Taysom Hill back and Elvin Kamara. Well, Taysom plays. Elvin's been playing to the best of his ability. But any other receivers have not been able to get involved. We've seen Bub Means get involved in portion of the matchup yesterday. And it was just, he did some positive stuff. Then he had to drop. And then after that, he just disappeared from the game. Mason Tipton, Cedric Wilson. Obviously, the Saints are going to pull, but on a short week, they need wide receivers. They're getting them off the practice squad. You got a couple of guys on the practice squad that you can go and reach out to. Equimius St. Brown would be a guy. What's the guy? Austin Jr.
he's another guy that's a wide receiver on the practice squad that the Saints could reach and pull into the game. Try to get those guys involved to their best of their ability. But Cedric Wilson Jr., man, was a guy that was supposed to, I don't know if to say replace Michael Thomas, because I don't think he's doing that, but he has zero impact on whatever the Saints have been doing up to this point. Zero impact on what's going on there. So he would have to get involved. Mason Tipton, Bub, and the rest of these guys going to have to step up. So it's going to be tough. And if I have to make a prediction early on, just a simple prediction, with Taysom Hill playing, we can expect Clint Kubiak to over-rely on Taysom and Elvin Kamara again. Now, he might get Mason Tipton involved. He got to get those guys involved because they're starters now, right? So we should see more of that in the game. And the big thing is, you know, of course, Derek Carr more than likely won't play in this matchup. Then you have Spencer Rattler with his second start, which more than likely means hopefully the Saints can produce a running attack. Please, let's run the ball. And then on the opposite side with the Broncos, Patrick Surtain with a concussion is DNP'd. He might miss the game. Jaquan McMillan, ankle limited. Riley Moss, limited with a hip issue. And then the offensive tackle, Alex Pilcheski, is out with an ankle. Cornerback, Damari Mathis, ankle fully practiced. Linebacker, Justin Stanad has rib issue. He fully practiced. So not a very long list for Sean Payton. But my goodness, the Saints got enough banged up players for 3 teams. So like I said, it's just that time of the year, man. We got to survive the injuries. And speaking of Sean Payton, there's an article from the Broncos side of things. Sean Payton sent a message of sorts to New Orleans Saints supporters ahead of the Denver Broncos Thursday night football tilt. What did old man Payton had to say? Broncos, he says, for the Broncos, there's no rest for the weary as the team has to quickly shake off a Week 6 loss to the Chargers to focus on a road trip on Thursday night versus the Saints. The Broncos-Saints showdown on Thursday Night Football marks head coach Sean Payton's first return to the city he helped heal post-Katrina for 16 years as the head coach. Denver's Week 7 storylines are replete with emotional undertones regarding Payton. On Monday, he made it clear that he doesn't expect Saints family members to give him a warm welcome back. I don't think there's going to be a lot of flowers and warm fuzzies for yours truly, and I get it. Listen, I can stand it. I can't, unless he said, listen, I can't stand losing. It's about our team and me as the head coach of the Broncos getting ready to play on an early week and trying to play one of our better games. The Broncos head coach is aware of the possibility of distraction and is striving to keep his focus sharp on the Saints. It will be unique, Payton said. I think those around us know how challenging the short week is as compared to as if it was a full week. Certainly, there will be emotions going back there with players, but I do think that comes up quite a bit in our league with players. And in this case, certainly the amount of time I was there, I understand it. The Superdome can be loud in the wake of Payton's full retirement at the end of the 21 season. Many Saints family members feel spurned that their winningest head coach of all time would abandon the team one season after Drew Brees hung up his cleats, only to reemerge a year later with the Broncos. Not me. I think it was time for him to go. It's just, it happens. The demands of a short week turnaround has been beneficial to Payton. In one sense, it has prevented him from dwelling too much on the emotions of returning to New Orleans. We have to deal with the crowd noise, Payton said. That place is loud, and you guys know that. Unfortunately, it's a short week because I haven't heard, he says, short week, that place is loud. He says, where was I? He says, you guys know that. Unfortunately, it's a short week because I haven't had a chance to dive into all that other stuff. By other stuff, Payton means the emotions and revenge storylines, adding to the possibility of distraction. Brees will be honored at the game only, adding to the pressure and gravity of the moment. Drew is going into the Hall of Fame, Payton said. They also have a Ring of Honor, so that's a separate event. Soon, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I have already reached out to him, congratulated him, said this is the first of many. Indeed, Brees' lifelong football voyage is destined to end in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. It'll be difficult for Payton to walk the line of celebrating his friend and former pupil and figuring out how to beat the Saints in their house. And he says, I say this, it's all about the game. It's about the win, the significance of us playing our best football on a short week, and it's about our team. I address that with them tomorrow morning and say, hey, let's understand the significance of getting our 4th win. I think that's the number one thing. Then go from there. So there you go. So like I said, the Broncos lost to the Chargers, dropped them back to 500 at 3-3. Another hard-fought road win will put the Broncos at 4-3 with a chance to heal up and galvanize during a mini-bye, a 10-day stretch between week 7 and week 8 that the Saints would be fortunate to have as well. So that's some of that article from Coach Payton. Understanding the enormity, I guess I could say the enormity of them losing to the Chargers and knowing that they have to keep pace there, because Coach Payton was they lost 2 and then they won 3 in a row. They were doing pretty good. And then the loss against the Chargers, which is the 2 teams that if you watch the game, the Chargers and the Broncos matchup, we play the Chargers Thursday night. Then after the mini bye, we have the Broncos. I'm sorry. We play the Broncos Thursday night. And then after the mini bye, we get ready for that Charger team. So don't think for a second it gets easy, because Coach Payton has a motivation to come in there and get that win. Now, the crazy part, I was thinking about this today. The crazy part about it is Sean Payton told Mickey Loomis to hire Dennis Allen. Mickey Loomis won't admit to that. He'll say that he made the choice on his own to pick him, and I don't believe that. Sean Payton, he does whatever Sean Payton wanted him to do when he was there, and I think that old habit dies hard. And, I have my opinions on it, and I've covered that a lot on so many shows over the years during that time frame about why they should have did this at this certain time, and then there was no vision. They just let it all fall apart, as opposed to make the proper plans, get the proper quarterbacks at the time, all that kind of stuff. Plenty of shows to cover that in the catalog. But the point is, it'll be pretty ironic that if Sean Payton does come into the Superdome and defeat the Saints on Thursday night, that if he beats Dennis Allen, it heightens the chance of Dennis Allen being fired. So he got him the job, and ultimately, ironically, he can end up taking it away from him. Oh, the delicious irony, isn't it, fam? You see, if it's not built right, it won't work right. That's the thing we got to understand. Little game here before we move to the next topic here. A little game that if it start off bad, it's going to end the way it started. For our relationship people out there, if it starts bad, it will end bad. How you start is how you finish. Real spill. How you start is how you finish. So if you don't start right, it's an energy. It's like a universal principle, and people think they can stand up to it, only to realize years later, hey man, I'm telling you, man, there's universe. We learn that we some hard head beings. I'm telling you, man, we think we can break the the laws and rules and swim and manipulate them. You can't. You can make a plan. The Most High makes a plan. Who's the best of planners? Just learn the rules and use them to your benefit. Not sneaky underhandedly, because you can't underline the move, because the energy that you do comes back to you and kick you in your own ass. But just have the presence of mind to understand whatever's happening to you, it's your fault. Understand that. That way you retain all of the power, and you don't blame somebody else giving them that power to them to have. So blaming somebody else saying that they have power over you, keep that power. There's power in that. There's power in that. And realizing your errors and not placing it on others. There's power. You retain the power, the control power within here. You don't give it to somebody else, blaming them for something that they did to you that you allowed them to do in many cases. Be careful. Anyway, let's keep it moving, man. Let's move on to the next stuff. We already went and talked about this gentleman right here. Look like he's about to heave up something. So we're going to hurry up and get him off the screen before he spews. And we're going to give it to this guy over here who's full of spew. We're going to listen right quick at Dennis Allen. I'm going to put it on the quick spin machine, fam. So, y'all know how I do. I kind of speed it up at the next level and listen to Dennis Allen, especially after some of these games. It's ridiculous. Now, I did look at some of the tape, not all of it, of the all 22. We'll cover it tomorrow on our Patreon stream. We'll go over it. It's not pretty, especially the second half. How they turn the Saints off like a faucet. They basically went in there, they looked at it, and like if y'all go back and listen to the show, I was like, fam, the Buccaneers, I said the keys to victory for the Saints. I gave the Saints keys to victory, and then I said, fam, the Buccaneers, if they are smart, they'll look at the fact that they were running. They wasn't running it a lot in the first half. They were hitting them here and there. I was like, if they realized that their running backs was gouging the Saints, they're going to test the Saints running attack in that second half. And whoever established the run, they're going to win the game. And the Buccaneers did every bit of that. They went in there, blitzed Spencer Rattler. They blitzed them as much as they can. They turned up the blitz twice as much. Even I would even say almost 3 times as much. They were blitzing him from many different ways. And there was really, they knew the Saints couldn't run the ball. So they just pinned their eyes back or their ears back and went after him. And then from the offensive side, they just punished the Saints defense, running up the middle on them, running on the side on them. And we talking about second and third string running backs. The guy that had the most yards was a third string running back on their depth chart that piled up that much yardage. They had almost a 300-yard rushing performance. And I was telling people for weeks that I had concerns about the fact that the Saints was soft up the middle and that they keep getting gashed. Now, that is now a major pin in the scouting report on the Saints defense until they calcify and harden up and be able to stop these teams. But this team, this leaky defense, man, and now the secondary is getting tested. They're giving up plays. We're getting, we got stuff going on. So do they fix all of this in a sharp week against Sean Payton? Man, there's no way. It's too much. Unless they know exactly what they need to do and do. This is not to have these type of issues and have a blowout loss like that. It's good that you want to get back at it fast so you don't have that ugly taste in your mouth for a full week. But it's difficult to say because I have zero faith in Dennis Allen as a head coach. So I don't know. What I do know is he's totally inconsistent. He will be called upon to do his best coaching job against Sean Payton. The emotions will be high, but can Saints take the emotions of the Superdome and turn it into something positive for the team as opposed to commit a bunch of errors and do foolish plays, especially with the fact that they have so many players out, which would be a question to Clint Kubiak. Can he adjust and move forward in a different way? That's a whole nother question unto himself. When you talk about the offense, can they run the ball? Because that's a big factor. Can they run the ball? It can't just all be rollouts left or right for Spencer Rattler to throw on the run. Sooner or later, they're going to adjust to that. You got to be able to run the football. And that's only one way. You got to get guys in there that know what they're doing. Even the backup's going to have to learn to run. It's just what it is. On a short week like that, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So this is what we love football so much, fam, because it puts it on the line. Either you're real or you're not. Either you're a contender or a pretender. Either either you're going to do it or you don't. And that's what it comes down to. There's no divvying. There's no riding the fence. It is either you are that or you're not. It's what it is. Anyway, let's listen to Dennis Allen sped up and hear what he had to say.
In any phase, offensively, we've got to be able to run the football better. And then as we got late in the game, in the second half, I thought they were able to kind of pressure the quarterback a little bit more, and we weren't able to get as much done in the second half offensively. Defensively, we got to do a better job of stopping the run. We got to tackle better. And we had some uncharacteristic mistakes, and that's on me to get that figured out and get that fixed. And so we've got a lot of getting better to do, but we got to learn from this and we got to move forward.
I guess you probably answered yesterday. What can be done to fix that, and what do you do to fix it?
Well, there won't be a whole lot we can do from a physical standpoint this week, being that we're on the short week with the Thursday deal, but that's got to be a point of emphasis. It hadn't typically been an area that we've had a lot of struggles with, but we certainly have the last 2 weeks. Really, I don't think we tackled as well as we need to. So we've got to get that. We've got to get that fixed. We've got to get that corrected. And just in terms of our overall execution, is not where it needs to be. So I really got to look at what we're asking our guys to do, how much we're asking them to do. Are we asking them to do the right things? We're putting them in the right positions. Because right now we're not playing defense the way that we have and the way that we're capable of.
How difficult is it to get anything corrected on such a brief week, especially when you need move on?
Well, the number one thing is you got to recognize the issues. That's the first thing you have to be able to do. And so you got to recognize what the issues are, and then you got to put emphasis on those issues. And the physical part won't be as much this week, but the mental part of stressing the importance is going to be important.
He ain't lying.
But is he? Because the reality is, do they know what the problem is? That's the question. The question is, do we know what the problem is? You can't run the football. That's the biggest offensive problem the Saints have, besides the injuries, is can you run the football? Because that's the staple of the offense. You got to run the ball to balance the offense so you can get into the play action, try to swivel, trick the defense, whatever the case may be, to flow your offense. Do they know that? Say, yeah, they know. Then why aren't they doing anything about it? I didn't hear any signings of any offensive linemen. They're still rolling out the same guys. And it's not like over one game or so. It's been several games that we've seen these same people out there, and they're not getting it. He has to understand, man, listen, you're on a 4-game losing streak. Chances are you're not going to be able to do much on with Thursday night football here, so you're just talking. So whatever you going to do mentally, what you going to tell them? Am I putting y'all in positions to win? I'm putting it. No. We need chastisement of the offensive line. We really do. If the offensive line, especially interiorly speaking, I'm talking about interior. I don't care if they backups or not. You got to still allow the block. Not giving you a pass because you're a backup offensive lineman. You're still a member of the team. And besides, they picked these guys to be on the team. If it was a mistake, you need to get them off the team and get better offensive linemen to the best of your ability. Find some guys. Do something. Find guys that got some, you don't have to be big, expensive guys, but find a guy that has a pissed off mentality that wants to block, that wants to do something. These guys, a lot of these guys, they're slow to the party. Many times, if you watch the film, they're late getting where they get. They slide. There was a couple of times I seen offensive linemen shed off of blockers, blocking guys, defensive linemen. They shed off of them too fast. Then there's times like they don't know which guy to pick up. It's just like, damn, did they just put these guys in? The way they be playing at times is like, do you guys practice? It's like you look at them like, damn, football, like you might not know all of the plays, so you might lean on the guy next to you, say, hey man, what we about to do? Well, we're gonna do this. Oh, okay. Or ask his quarterback, hey, just do this. Then when you do that, then you got to execute. And what I'm saying is those guys have to beat the one-on-ones. That's what it comes down to, fam. You have to beat the guy in front of you. You got to win the battle. If you're not winning your one-on-one matchup, and a lot of times they're not, we're not going to have success as a collective. It all breaks down individual. They got to win one-on-one matchups. So if the offensive guard has to get the guy in front of him, the defensive lineman in front of him, got to clear him out so Elvin can get some yards, or whoever running the football. We got to get him out of there. And most of the time, offensive linemen love to run block. So I don't know what's going on with these stable of backups that we have. If they're not that good, where they can't open up lanes consistently for offensive linemen, then you put their asses in the street and find somebody that could get it done. So the thing is, it's pretty cool when you have a parachute plan if you get fired from the Saints. All you have to do is when you get fired and you get thrown out of the plane, you just direct your parachute to wherever Sean Payton is, like Pete Carmichael did. And don't think for a second, once they can this guy, that he won't go follow Payton. He won't go run up under Payton's skirt like Pete the Rat Carmichael did. It's the same thing. When he got fired from the Raiders, some kind of way he found himself to the Saints as a defensive counselor or assistant, whatever the case was. He was an assistant at first, but we knew when Payton was bringing him in, he was going to run old boy off and give him the job. And that's exactly what he did. Now they're going to just retreat to find Sean Payton. It's just one cycle. It'd be pretty ironic. Sean beats the guy, and then they can his ass a week later, because I really don't think Mickey Loomis is going to fire him anyway. That's just how out of touch. That's why I played Mickey Loomis, to remind y'all who your general manager is. He's not inventive. He's not progressive. He's not a guy that is trying to take your team forward in any manner. He's old. He's antiquated. He's a dinosaur. And at the end of the day, he's sitting there retaining power, and they got a bunch of other dinosaurs walking around him. And they don't want to let these young people who are in touch of the game get there and get an opportunity to bring the Saints into the new century of football, like what everybody else is. They don't get it, man. These egotistical old dinosaur people, man. Anyway, here goes Dennis.
How do you look at the tape now? How do you feel about the effort throughout the game?
Well, I thought somewhere there in the late third quarter, fourth quarter, that I thought we got worn down a little bit. I know the guys that are in that locker room. They're tough, competitive people, and so I don't question effort with our guys. We have to be better, but that's not really a question that I have of our guys. I think we'll be better this week.
Dennis, you guys, beyond just this game, you guys ranked 32nd, in defense for the season, yards allowed for the season. That makes it a season-long problem in some ways. Can you identify what, beyond just missed tackles, or is there anything that's been a through line?
I think execution's been a big issue. We haven't executed as well as we need to, and then tackling has been an issue. So it's something that we've got to figure out, and we got to figure it out in a hurry.
And effort can mean different things, I guess. It's what you see on film when a team's just on the wrong end of a snowball effect. Is that something that's happened to this team?
Yeah, but look, we're not going to sit here and make excuses for where we're at or what we put on tape. That's all of us included, coaches, players, everybody. We've got to perform better, and so it's my job to ultimately get that done.
How Rapids day, I think back and watch the game.
I thought in particular early on in the game, in the first half, I thought he did some really good things. I thought he was poised. I thought he went through his progressions. I thought he was able to create some things with his feet. I thought he threw the ball well. I think he got fooled on a throw late in the game, and then I think he underthrew the one deep ball or crossing route to Shaheed. I thought he underthrew that just a little bit, but I think those are things that come, with experience of being able to get in the game and make those types of throws and understand how you have to be able to layer that throw in there. So I thought for a first time out, I thought there was a lot of good things, and then there's a lot of things for him to learn from.
Dennis, I know it's the next opponent and you need to win, but what does it mean that on the opposite side of the line, Sean's going to be on the opposite side?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think that's where our focus needs to be. I think our focus needs to be on our football team and what we have to do to improve. And so I think that's really where our focus is going to be this week.
And so, Chris, specifically, I think this is a concussion at each of his first 3 professional seasons. You have in college too. Is there any additional concern that's repeated?
Yeah. I think that's something that we have to pay attention to. And unfortunately, that's part of the game that we play. But and it's unfortunate that's happened to him. And I think we got to, be certainly cautious with him in terms of when he's available and when he's ready to go.
Having coached with them under him for so long, what are the challenges of facing the Payton coach team?
Well, look, he's certainly, a demanding coach and does a really good job, with the offense. A lot of different personnels, formations. There's some shifts involved. And he does a really good job of kind of identifying areas of weakness that he wants to try to attack. And so, certainly that'll be something that we'll have to deal with, come Thursday night.
When you watch them on film, you see a lot of the same stuff that you're familiar with.
Yeah. I see some similarities, and yet I see him doing a few different things with the quarterback that they have. And so I think he does a really good job of, finding out what his players can do well, identifying weaknesses in a defense and putting his players in the best position to be successful with what they do.
You guys have never, you've had some losing streaks before and never really lost the buy-in of the locker room, but this is your first 4-game losing streak. Is there a point where that reaches a crisis point? You have to really worry about keeping people believing?
Well, look, I think anytime you go through a rough stretch like this, I think it's challenging, on all of us. And I think that's why we got to, rely on the guys that we have in the locker room and the guys that we have and the competitive nature that those guys have. And so, we're dealing with some injuries right now. We got to fight through this rough patch and hopefully get some guys back. But yeah, I think it's hard. I think it's challenging, but I got all the confidence in the world that our guys are going to stick together.
Anyone they're hopeful more turn on this short week? Or?
Yeah, I don't know that right now.
So that last point, Saunders talked about yesterday. He said, when we asked him, he said, like, I'll play tomorrow. That, look, he just alluded to that as well. So having these talented guys that are already ready to get on the field, what does that do for a team that's already ready to turn the page right now?
Well, look, I think that's kind of the good thing about, being on a short week. You don't have a whole lot of time to sit here and feel sorry for yourself. You got to start preparing for another opponent. And so I think that's what we're here doing today. Today was a lot of recovery day for the players. And it's a lot of game planning stuff for the coaches.
As you said after the Chiefs game, that defensively, y'all had to look at whether you were asking too much and maybe you needed to simplify things a little bit. Did y'all simplify it, and is there a danger of overcorrecting in that?
Yeah, I think there's always that balance. I was just talking to the staff today about that. Obviously, we're not playing well defensively, and so we've got to figure out ways to play better. And when I say that, like we've got to be able to execute better. And so if you're not executing at a high level, then certainly I got to look at what we're doing and making sure I'm coaching it right, teaching it right, and not being too complicated.
Now go on, you take care of the cake. You possum puss, get that punch out there or you'll get one from me. Go on.
All right, man. Oh my goodness. I don't know, man. I don't know, fam. I don't know, man. What Dick Gregory? Hey, brother Dick Gregory, what you think?
The problem is you trying to talk with your shit and you don't know nothing instead of listening, huh?
I'm listening.
Okay? No. I get $40,000, nigga, and I dare motherfucker to pop.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, I wish Brother Greg would pop in the saddle upside his head, knock some sense into him. What it's very interesting, man. For a game, and of course this show, it's titled "Saints Struggling After 4 Straight Losses." How can they turn it around? Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can turn that around right now. You on a short week like this, you're not going to have a lot of activity because they got a lot of injuries. So you're not going to do a lot of heavy work on a short week. Right now, it's like a ship at sail with a leak or 2 leaks or maybe 3 leaks. You can't fix it until you get back to dock. You know what I mean? That's what, in my estimation, I look at the Saints organization as a ship on the water. They're going through icy terrain, everything. They got holes on the side of the boat. The guys patched it up as best they could, but it's still leaking. In order for them to get it fixed, they got to get the dock. They got to get back to, the dock. And the only way to get there is to, they got to go through the Bronco territory. And then when they get through there, they have a mini bye to be able to rest and heal and maybe get a few players back, kind of get gain some ground. I don't think you can do anything with this right now. You can't. Dennis Allen, all he can do is try to talk at him. From a word standpoint, unless he gets active and demanding his offensive lineman to block better or shift or get some other offensive lineman there so we can run. I would start there. We have to have a running attack. We have to have a running attack. We have to have a running attack if we're going to have a chance. And all of the other teams are going to just do what they did to the Saints over the last 4 weeks. This was a blueprint that these teams seen. The Saints were soft up the middle on the defense, and they just ran on them. The Saints can't run the ball. Clint Kubiak can't call a play without Taysom. We get Taysom back. Perhaps we win because he'll overutilize Taysom. He'll use him, but he can't seem to. It's the weirdest thing with him. He got to develop more of his as an offensive coordinator and a play caller in terms of using all of the talent that he can, and he just doesn't. He doesn't use these guys right, and he picked these guys. You got to use these guys to have win. You can't overuse AK-41 or Taysom Hill because you're going to get them hurt. It's a long season, and you got to spread that stuff out. And like I said, man, it's going to be tough. And we interesting look, but I don't know where in any league, well, maybe in basketball, that you in the third year as a coach, and you're and listen, let's be honest and very candid here. The Saints, don't forget the timeline. When Dennis Allen came in here and took over the team and they named him the head coach, it was a timeline that you was dealing with as an organization, which is the timeline that corresponds with the contracts of DeMario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, so on and so forth. There's a timeline in which you are tasked to win with said talent. And you knew what didn't. And the idea was they took Derek Carr and brought Derek Carr here, and they thought he would be the missing piece to take the Saints to the next level or get them back into contention. That's what they believed. Mickey Loomis, Dennis Allen. It was Dennis Allen's plan. But even if you accrue the talent, and you've seen in weeks 1 and 2, the team flowed beautifully until everybody else caught up with them, because the same plays the man was using in weeks 1 and 2, he don't even use the same plays no more, which doesn't make any sense to me, because I thought that was the staple of your offense to do that kind of stuff. And he didn't took it all out. So that obviously wasn't the staple, because we've seen more of what he's been doing over the last 4 weeks versus the first couple of games, which it's not a fluke, because people are now saying the first 2 weeks was just a fluke. The Saints were playing games. No. They were actually executing to high levels. What they're doing now is the guy doesn't have the same confidence in the players when they're not there. If the Saints have all of their guys healthy, that's what the team looks like. Because the fall off from the OC coordinator, you can see what the problem is. He has to have all his guys healthy for the team to look like that. The moment you start losing guys, you look like this, because he can't find other guys to, and I ain't saying replace, but as in a physical game like football, you have to be able to fill your depth chart with guys that if some guys go down, you got to be able to move guys in and keep your system going to the best of your ability. At no point is it cool to not have a running attack. So he's dangerous. He's dangerous. This is the closest Dennis Allen's been fired as a New Orleans Saints coach. I'm gonna be honest with you, because even though we got the poll up in the chat right now that I'm asking the family members, will the Saints beat Payton's Broncos on Thursday Night Football? Out of almost 200 people was polled. And if you didn't get your opportunity to be polled, please fill in on that poll. 66% of the people said they don't beat Sean Payton versus 19 says yes, and 14% says, I don't know. Wow. I was thinking that the yeses will be 40%, somewhere in there. 67% of the Who Dat Nation, the Great Saint Think Tank, says no. Why? Because they don't believe in Dennis Allen. Old Possum Puss. They don't believe in him. Why? Because these type of situations, he's not good at. This is territory. He's found himself right back to the territory where he was, familiar territory, in that third year with the Raiders, where they just put him in the street when he started losing in the third year, and they just wiped their hands with him. Mickey Loomis is a different character because he's holding the guy here out of ego. If they lose to the Chargers, which I don't want a loss, we need to break the losing streak. We've been saying that for the last couple of weeks now, that we need to break the streak. Is he capable of doing that against Sean Payton, who's motivated to get the win? You couldn't have, and the way these games is marching, it's almost like destiny trying to tell Mickey Loomis, hey, bro, get this guy out of here. What are you doing? You had all this stuff happen with these hurricanes. And don't forget the fact that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I was reading articles on here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were channeling a lot of what happened to Florida in their play. They really was. Them guys was playing hard for Florida. They wanted to get that win to bring it back home to that hurricane-ravaged Florida state. And they were playing hard for their communities, for their family base. They were playing hard. Let's not forget that additive. And then you got Sean Payton that got beat up on by the Chargers, and now he coming here and make no qualms about it. Sean Payton's going to be very motivated to beat this team in a place where he created championship football for the black and gold. You think Coach Payton's going to come in here and lose to Dennis Allen? He's going to be super motivated. So another week of highly motivated teams coming in here looking to defeat the Saints. And the Saints are susceptible. They're susceptible because right now they're reeling. And in my opinion, there's not enough time for them to bounce back on something like this. They're dealing with all these issues. The offense is completely decimated. You got AK-41. He's banged up. They might get Taysom back, which is cool. But your starting wide receivers probably going to miss the game. Olave with a concussion. Rashid Shaheed with that knee, I think they said. And Clint Kubiak, who is non-imaginative when it gets to not having his top guys. So when he has his best players, he looks good. When he doesn't, he looks terrible. So, I mean, that's through 6 weeks. That's basically what I ascertained when I surmise based on research and the eye test is what it is, right? All right. So anyway, let's listen to Cam, man. We're going to listen to Cam for a little bit. You can see the face Cam making in this video. He understands how serious it is, man. That's why I've always been a guy that wanted to rip that club dub bullshit out of there, man. Because my philosophy is, listen, let's act like we've been here before. Let's get this W and act like we've been here before. We don't need disco balls and smoke machines. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. We let us do that when we clinch, start dancing like that and doing all that shit when we win the NFC South. Then after you do that, celebrate a playoff victory or whatever you got to do. But after winning the game and act like we clubbing it out, man, get the hell out of here with that. I never was for that. My philosophy is always, let's act like we've been here. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to win here. We win the game, we in there dancing. But you get your ass kicked, you still dancing. They tell you to keep the same energy, right? You in there partying? No, I won't party today, man. We got beat on. It ain't over with yet. A demoralized team, man. That's what we are. Let's listen from Cam, then we'll come back with questions, guys. After this, please feel free to throw your questions in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Here we go on Cam.
Cam, how would you sum up the game from yesterday?
Manageable for the first half, collapse in the second half. Offense side of the ball, you know, we were dealing with this defense side of the ball. A couple missed tackles equals major explosive plays. Gotta be able to get off the field. First half was able to contain Baker. Clearly, when he was contained, made a couple errant throws. We had success on defense. Second half, a completely different story. We saw a couple of escapes out the middle pocket, which we knew he was going to do, and tried to eliminate that. Didn't. A couple tackles didn't happen our way, and somehow you end up with what they end up with 590 something friggin' yards in a game, and it's embarrassing.
How did it get corrected? Is it as simple as
tackle? Yeah, for sure. It's more effort. It's giving more. You watch the film. You're like, if only we had made one extra play as a defensive line, one extra play here, one extra play there. A loss like that, everybody's got their hand in it. Nobody's clean in this game, pass game.
Yeah, you just use the word effort, and a lot of people ask questions when they see performance like that.
Mm-hmm.
Effort, like, what's your?
I don't think there's my teammates. There is no such thing as quit. There is definitely a perception that will be that, especially when you're on a win column. So that means paying attention to the minor details. you could say there's 40 great snaps. You can also say that this game there was 12 or 15 bad snaps, and you can't have bad snaps against an NFL level team.
And what was the better leadership on the team that you played?
However you want to phrase it, man. You watch the tape. Brother Greg asked the question in the chat queue, exactly where did you see the defense just give up? Man, listen, let me tell you something, bro. Everybody that watch football know. They pay attention. Well, not everybody, but most people that know what the momentum of the game is, how big that is, how the game is a series of energy flows depending on who controlling it. And you'll see the mojo or the energy gets picked up by another team, and then the other team can't match it, and then they just flow over them. It's a game of willpower collectively. And if the other team has the will to dominate the team that they're going against, it'll look like what we seen on Sunday. Now, of course, Cam ain't going to admit to that. He's not going to say his team give up. He ain't going to throw him under the bus, but the real is what the real is. You seen in the fourth quarter what happened. I was calling the game during the play-by-play, and I literally at what point said it. Y'all go back and listen to the fourth quarter of the watch party that we did Sunday. And I literally pinpointed during the game, the mojo of the game. I said, feel like a flow about to happen, this, that, and third, because you could tell, you could feel it. But when I called, I was like, fam, I pinpointed and called. I said, fam, do y'all see this? They quitting on them. And then we seen it because you don't see a play like that all the time. And it wasn't mistakes. Like they were destroying the Saints. The offensive line was dominating the Saints defensive line. They were moving them around like cheap ass lawn furniture. They were pushing them around, throwing them down. And them backup running backs from Tampa Bay got to twisting and turning. And let me tell you something, it wasn't just one. Everybody that got a chance to carry the ball against the Saints defense averaged a ridiculous amount of yards against them. Everybody, the running attack, and that's I've been saying this. I've been saying, fam, I've been concerned about the Saints running attack for weeks. People have not been picking up on it. You've seen a couple of teams hit them pretty good, but a part of the fourth game losing streak is a part of the defense collapse. And it's just the offense is not doing what it's supposed to do either, obviously, because they're not scoring points. But in some of these games, like the Atlanta game, you know, the defense is supposed to hold for the win because despite all of the stuff that happened, they came back in the game, took the lead. The defense supposed to lock down and contain the game. They didn't. They gave up, that situation occurred with the pass interference. It was weird energy watching the game because the Saints had 3 interceptions, but was only up by 3 points. I was like, I don't like this. This don't even make any sense. They got statistics that say, how could the Saints have 3 interceptions in the game, but still get blown out, such and such, such and such? Those interceptions didn't have the type of impact they should have had because Baker Mayfield, to a degree, should have been demoralized throwing 3 interceptions, but instead he threw 4 touchdowns. Now, statistically speaking, if you look at the rushing attack that happened, let me put it on the screen right quick. Take a look at this rushing attack. Look at all of this. Sean Tucker is listed as the 3rd string running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3rd string. He had 14 carries. This is a 3rd string running back with Rachaad White hurt. Bucky Irvin is the backup, and Sean Tucker is the 3rd string running back. So he would be Sean Tucker in Saint depth chart speak would be considered Jordan Mims. So their Jordan Mims ran all over the Saints because that's who he is, the 3rd running back. 14 carries for 136 yards. He averaged almost 10 yards every time he ran the ball. Bucky Irvin, the 2nd string back who was starting, 14 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. He averaged 6 yards a carry. Sterling Shepard, who was number 17, the wide receiver that had all those penalties, 4 carries, 31 yards. He averaged 8 yards a carry. And Baker Mayfield, when he scrambled, he had 3 scrambles for 29 yards and averaged almost 10 yards a scramble. So it didn't matter who the hell you had. And collectively, they averaged 8 yards a rush and 277 yards collectively. So you had Baker throwing for 325 and the Bucks running for 277, almost 300 yards rushing on the Saints. In the fourth quarter, you've seen when that run, where you've seen all of those guys missing tackles, diving at the guy, that's not even how it's supposed to go, man. If you're a strong defense and the Saints supposed to be a veteran-led defense, high intelligent defense, that's not even supposed to happen, man. You seeing guys get pushed around. Watch the blocks that was happening on the play where the guy goes down and scores on them. Watch the blocks. Look how the blockers were pushing the Saints defenders out of the way. And the fact that they had multiple opportunities to get him. What about Alontae Taylor and the other guys, the Saints running into him and then try to shoulder him to the ground? What part of the game was that? The guy running hard too. He was running fierce. You got to wrap and tackle. So how at that point during the game you look like that? Because like I said before, if you have a team and they're running the football, the Buccaneers did what they're supposed to do. They tested the Saints rushing attack. They beat them up. And when late in the games, no defense likes that. To have strong runners running on them like that. And the Buccaneers were executing to perfection on the Saints. They realized that the Saints, and they picked it up, like I said, at the halftime. When they looked at the halftime statistics, you could see that they weren't even running like that. They had like 8 carries. It was like 8 carries at half. They had like 8 carries, the Buccaneers did at half, but they had a really good run rate on those a per yard rate on. I looked at that and I said at the time, man, these people, the key to it is you got to watch them because they're going to realize they got a good yard rate on the Saints and they're going to test that defense. And that's what they did. That's why the Saints scored 27 in the second quarter and did nothing for the rest of the game. The Buccaneers scored 27-0 on the Saints at the end of the second half and closed the Saints out. They just opened up the blitz on Spencer, blitzed him more, and ran on the Saints defense and ran their ass into a 50-burger. They were dominated. They were demoralized. Look at their faces on the field. And at that point, I was like, look at them, man. They done gave up. Look at them, because you know what it looks like when the bottom fall out of it. Because you don't see it often, but you know when you look what you're looking at when you do. Now, how does a demoralized team with a demoralized possum coach come back and say, hey, man, we're going to go over here and do this? How does he do it? How does he do it? Man, listen, man, this gut check time. That's all I can say. This gut check time. You are 2-4 in the NFC South, fam. Both Atlanta and Tampa Bay, obviously, won. So they're 4-2. They have a tiebreaker on you. You're on a 4-game slide. You possibly can be on a 5-game slide. And the Saints are in a hole. They're in a hole, and these are difficult to come out, especially every loss that Dennis Allen accrues, the support base who already sees him as an imposter. He's not a real coach. That's just going to get more and more rabid. It's just what it is. People are not crazy. They know what the hell they're looking at. They know that this guy's not a coach. Dennis Allen's not a coach. We'll see, man. We go see what Mickey Loomis was talking about when he was looking like he was about to upchuck. We'll see. And Dennis Allen is a good coach. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to see in a little bit if you can get it turned around his camp.
For it takes. I mean, if it's got to be the hammer, if it's got to be the energy, it's got to be whatever it is. There's the opportunity to give more. I think again with knowing the game we were coming into last game, we knew we was going to have to lead the turnover battle, and that didn't happen. We ended up having 3 turnovers to their 4. How many turnovers did they have? Not worried about them. We could have had more, but that was all in the first half. We needed more in the second half.
Did they do anything schematically, offensively in the second half too?
No, I think we're always going to put it on us. We weren't as effective the second half. Schematics, whatever it is, just they dialed up a couple of the right plays. And again, when you have to get somebody down, you have to get somebody down. It's always got to be the, players take over.
How challenging is it to, or rather, what's the process of kind of fixing the tackling concern when you can't?
In a short week, I'll say it's frustrating to have that, because typically, we addressed it last week, we emphasized it last week, and it showed up again. So now it's no longer just a quick issue; it's a glaring problem that we have to solve in the next 48 hours before we go take the field in 72. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that gets done. But that's just it. Now it's clearly something that's been brought up twice now, and it has to be corrected.
And the run defense issues, is that just, do you just pin that on poor tackling, or is there other stuff?
It's a little bit of everything. Again, when you have a loss like this, it's clearly a little bit of everything. It's, gap integrity. It's everything that you list as a defense that you want to be proud of that did not happen in a few plays. There's a play that, defensive end should have levered something, should have spilled something. There was, obviously issues to where, a gap was created and they took advantage of it.
Cam, I know you're focused on what y'all need to do, but at the same time, do you have any thoughts on Sean coming back on Thursday?
We just broke down the film as a D-line on this last game, and then try to turn the page to focus on Denver. Can't even give us a proper 24-hour due processing wise, but clearly, Bo Nix is playing decent enough for them to win. Have just started on them, so I'll know more by later on today about what they do. But clearly, they bolstered up their offensive line, paid a couple of guys, got some guys in, and they've had some success. So it's going to be on us to, again, whatever it takes to get into the win column, because right now we're in a L column.
Any thoughts about facing the guy who coached you?
Yeah, he's going to be fired up. I mean, everybody in this building knows who Sean Payton is, and if he sees blood in the water, he's going to go try and take advantage. And that's always been his MO. So we're not helping deter that at this point with the last game that we just put on. So
is there blood in the water right now? Like, how do you kind of
590 something yards from a Bucs offense where we should have taken advantage in so many different ways and did not. It's put it on us. We have to figure out how to win in the next 72.
Cam, also, you guys rank last in the NFL in yards allowed for the season too. I mean, is that a number that kind of shocks your system a little bit?
Clearly not proud of that number. I mean, you start off strong the first two games to now have a 4-game slide. Again, it's going to take everybody and anybody to get back into what we consider a good position.
Cam, there have been years.
Wow, blood in the water. That's a hell of a phrase, man. We've said that before here many moons ago. Blood in the water. And if Sean Payton smells blood in the water, he's a shark. He's going to go after the Saints. Triplet follows up. Is there blood in the water? Giving up almost 600 yards of offense. You best believe somebody got their ass beat. There's going to be blood around here somewhere. Oh, my goodness. Let's get it, man. That's what this is all about. I welcome all of this. I welcome all of these stepping stones, fam. Don't ever shy away from obstacles that come. You see them. It's all mindset, because you will be tested. Even the Most High tests the best of servants. Everybody gets tested. Welcome these obstacles as stepping stones to greatness. That's what it's about. I welcome all of this. Because with these stepping stones, these trials and tribulations, they'll purify all of the things that's not supposed to be here out of the way. Just like in your life, if you got stuff going on, they got people that need to get on out the way, people that's slowing you up, you need to make a call on that. Because the trials and tribulations will show who's real and who's phony. And once you see the fakes and phonies, get away from them. Cut them off. Shun them. Oh, I've been saying shun them. I've been saying a lot of that, man. I've been saying it because it's time for greatness right now. There's no time for depression, and oppression and suppression. It ain't time for all of that. It's not time for none of that. It's time for the trials and tribulations to take us to become stepping stones that take us to the next level of greatness. If you have them going on in your life, embrace them and say to them, I know who you are. I know what you are. And I'm going to win. That's what it starts with. So I embrace this because whoever's not supposed to be here, it's not going to be here. In life, in the saints, it's the same way. These trials and tribulations the saints are undergoing will purify all of the fake and the pretenders and the off-code people. They're going to get on up out of here. And this is one of the main ones right here. Yeah, them trials and tribulations, if you can't withstand them, you can't hide no more. That's why I was saying, fam, in this year, this is the year of truth. You know, you had, what's his name? Cat Williams starting off talking all that stuff. And he declared it a year. And then you see all this other stuff happening. It's the same thing here. It ain't going to just be this year, it'll be next year too. And from here on out, this guy is no longer can sit here and masquerade as somebody head coach. He's underneath it. Either he steps up or he'll be pushed out of the way. He'll be fully shown for who he truly is, whether that is he is a member or a pretender. It'll be fully exposed. That's why I appreciate this. That's why I say to myself, people say, oh, the losing and losing. It don't feel pretty good, but at the end of the day, you got to understand. You got to understand how this is made. And everybody will be blessed to take the test. For real. Eastside says, what's Jake Hayner's purpose other than being in a relationship with Bob? I ain't even know that, bro. Did anybody catch Carr in Jake Hayner's face the first half of the game? They was looking worried. Oh, with Spencer Rattler? It's obviously something to that, fam, because there will be no need for Dennis Allen to take, and I've spoken on this a lot of times, to take Rattler and put him as the emergency quarterback and when, you know, and use Hayner as a buffer quarterback. And I say buffer because he didn't win the job. Hey, Jake Hayner, no, he didn't win that job. Or is he that delusional to think, oh, the coach see me win a job, so I win the job? You want to be a second string quarterback that bad where you'll take it as a lie? That got me looking at him kind of side-eyed. Kind of want me not to want to have him around here no more if you thinking like that. No, you know you didn't win that. And not only that I know you didn't win it, but your teammates know too. You think I and the Great Saint Think Tank and the Who Dat Nation are the only people that know that you didn't win that job? Talking about Dennis Allen made mention of, and it said that he was, what he said, not upset. He used another term, disappointed, something like that. It was something that in that spiritual energy. He was disappointed. Like, why? Why? Everybody knew he won. You didn't win that. You must be delusional, along with your whatever your feelings are, because that's ridiculous. You did not win the job. That's why Dennis Allen, when the moment Derek Carr got hurt, he reached over the top of him and grabbed Spencer Rattler and did like this. Come on, here you go. Why? Because he's keeping Rattler as far as he can away from Derek Carr. So the pressure of Spencer Rattler's stardom, because that's what it is. Because people are going to try to say all this cook and make money, make fun of this guy because you know all this kind of stuff, which is sad. It's dumb. Can't equate a Spencer Rattler and a Derek Carr in the same light. Derek Carr's supposed to know better. He been out there. He got 11 years worth of experience. He's supposed to be playing on a whole nother level than the rest of these guys. And people not hating on Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not playing as well as he's supposed to be doing. And it is. And it's unfortunate, you know, but when you get against the Chiefs and you just throw the ball up, 50-50 ball, a little pressure in your face, and you just throw it up to a pick in the first, that ain't going to win you no people, man. That just exposed the fact that you are scary or the low pressure even come close to you. But Spencer Rattler has earned the respect of and the adoration of the Who Dat Nation. He has. I calls him the people's champ. Derek Carr doesn't have that energy, but Spencer does. And people see he has potential. They see the star factor and quality within Spencer Rattler. Dennis Allen seen it too. That's why he rigged the job and rigged it and violated the competition between these players by taking him and making him the third quarterback so he doesn't put any pressure on Derek Carr. Now it's being fully exposed. I said that prior to it happening because I knew what kind of off-code dude this is over here. That's why I know you can't. You're not going to be able to win many games or have a long history of sustaining anything with off-code, dirty, rotten, underhanded tactics like that. But this guy will be the first guy complaining and bitching to somebody if they did it to him. I promise you that. I promise you that. Oh, my family, do unto others. Anyway, let me keep it rolling. Any questions, man? Let me keep it going, man. Throw it in the chat, man. All right. Yes, Pete. Yes, Pete. I think you're right, sir. It definitely is doing that, man. For Pete, here it is. Yes. Oh my goodness, you ain't never lying, brother Pete. It's definitely getting kind of hectic. Oh man, you are absolutely right, sir. Yes, it's getting kind of hectic. Yes, indeed. All right. Anyway, y'all hit the like button for me, man, as we keep it going. Any questions, y'all throw it in the chat, man. I'll do my best to answer. Brother Wendell says, loser for the Saints head coach, Dennis Allen. Sorry, but fire him, please, and thank you. Very good. All right. He said, Eastside, what's up with Carr getting hurt every year? He only do this when losing. It's like he's trying to hide. I don't know about that, bro. I mean, it's just Derek, and I've said this about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a good quarterback as long as you know how to use him. He's not a top 5 echelon quarterback. That's just not at this point of his career. Prior to his stuff, like prior to him with the Raiders and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't even call him a top 10 quarterback then. But at 11 years in, and what we've seen with him, the best usage that you can have for him in a system, because they keep switching the systems, is you got to give him a running attack and you got to operate the play action. He loves that. And I don't have time. We don't have time for him to figure out all this other stuff. You know, you have to build a system suitable for him to run the ball and take advantage. When you seen him do that, he had a lot of success in that. And that comes from the mantra of putting your players in position to win. And that's what's doing with Derek Carr. You do that, you're going to have success. I call it play action Carr. You put him in the play action, boom, the dude is going to give you big numbers. But outside of that, if you don't, man, listen, you're going to get what you've been getting. You see how he look without a play action? And most quarterbacks do look a little raggedy without the play action. But when they can't run the ball and they start putting the blitz in his face, he looks like a rookie too, don't he? He looks just like a rookie when you put the blitz on him. Giovanni says, Q, we need you to do more Mickey impersonating. That's funny. Yeah. Hey, man, listen, bro. Man, I did one Mickey. That was a couple of shows ago, man. I did a Mickey impersonation of him calling Dennis Allen into his office. Man, I forgot what show that is, but you know, somebody clipped it and sent it to me, man. I just bust out laughing. I'd be cracking myself up. Cracking myself up. Mickey Loomis, man. Dennis Allen, bring your ass here right now. Come here. Yeah, yes, Mickey. Oh, wait, I know. God damn it. You know. Dennis, bring your ass here right now. God damn it. Yeah, Mickey, can I help you? Oh, I know. Let me tell you something. God damn it. We're on a 4-game losing streak. I tell you, what the hell is going on over here? Well, Dennis, you know, we kind of struggling here. You know, I have to be honest with you. We don't know, Mickey. We're trying to figure it out, but and you got to be able to do this, and that's how he talks. And then Mickey say, "Oh, hold on now, God damn it, you're talking too slow. Well, you weren't talking like this when I hired you. What the hell? Listen here, they're calling my phones. I can't shop anymore. I gotta go. I gotta pay a guy, a DoorDasher. I can't get the clam chowder I want. Oh my gourmet orange juice is all ran out. Oh my Lord. I got to get to the store. Oh, they're pissed. They're standing out there right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, then what you want to do, Mickey? I'm trying my best here to win. I'm trying to win. Oh, well, look at here. Look at my face here. I'm about to upchuck here. I don't know. My stomach's hurt. Oh my Lord. And I got ulcers. I'm constipated. I'm turning into a vampire over here. Good Lord. God damn it. It's just one of them things, poor Mickey, man. He took the job, and that's a part of the game when you have the job and you don't want to turn it loose, man. Everything falls on your lap. You can't run around here and want to be the big Mickey boss man, the slick Mickey boss man, and then want all the accolades when shit go good, but don't want none of the blame that comes with screwed up decisions. And guys like me will call you out on it because we respect the timeline, which is where you started here. And then all these years later, this team is not even close to contending. You got guys running around here that are not head coaches, and you sit up here making excuses for them and saying and comparing the man to Bill Belichick. We know about looking at this man and how he coached. He's not even close to any of that. He's not even close to any of that. He's not even close. And now I know you see that, but you are driven off of ego, which I totally disrespect that. Because you're putting your own bullshit feelings ahead of top of the city. I can't stand that. Even when he did the thing about he took the extra weeks or whatever the case may have been for him to get the end of the season press conference going. And then when he gets in the end season press conference, he is chewing gum. He's unprofessional. His face is bucking. And did Dennis Lauscher or Gail Benson say, Mickey, you can't represent us like that, Mickey? You can't talk to him like that, Mickey. You can't do it. You used to be such a nice man, but you're not a nice man anymore. You have to be a nice man. Well, God damn it, Gail. I mean, hold on now. I'm slick, Mickey. I'm in the will. Mickey, I might be trying to take you out of the will now, Mickey. You're not a nice man. It's just crazy, man. It's insane, man. But at the end of the day, everybody can see Dennis Allen's over his head, man. He's over his head. Y'all don't know what a person that look like that's over their head. Take a good look at this guy. This man is over his head, man. Over his head, way over his head. He way over his head, man. All right, King Count, man. Thank you, bro. Says great word on trials and tribulations, life with the saints. I don't know if they're getting the message. They're getting it, bro. Everybody gets that message, bro. There's no escaping the school. Everybody goes through it. The greatest people you can think in history went through the school. The greatest spiritual leaders went through the school. They all go, everybody. Nobody's exempted from going through the schools of trials and tribulations. That's how we're made. And those who withstand, or not just withstand it, or just, but persevere. Those who not only go through the trials, but remember I said this a while ago, fam. I guess it's a part of the same logic, is even though you recognize that you're going through some trials and tribulations, it's a certain class, not so much class, but it's a certain mindset that you go through when you're going through trials and tribulations, not like the woe is me energy going through the trial, right? Because a lot of the intelligent people realize it's not so much the destination as it is the trip to get there. And people sometimes forget that. They take joy or pleasure or, during the trial and tribulation, smile, laugh to the best of your ability. Go out, see beautiful things. If you're a painter, paint, dance. If you're a dancer, whatever the case may be. When you're going through trials and tribulations, is a certain mindset you have. It's like having a classy mentality, or standing on business and being, what's the word that I used before? Y'all help me out, man. I said it on a previous show. Help me out on that. But it's dignity. There it goes. It just popped in my head. Dignity. You got to have dignity when you're going through this trial. You're going through these trials and tribulations. You're going to be going through with dignity. Because listen, it could be anything. It could be a Most High send a person into your life to test you. In some kind of way, you got tangled up with this person, spiritual, all this kind of stuff, soul ties. And then they do a 180 or a 360 on you and do something else, right? Because that happens. A lot of times when it's like, that don't make any sense. That's a trial. That's a trial. And then that person off somewhere else tearing up somebody else's stuff. But in what I'm saying is, it's a certain dignity you have when you're going through this trial. Don't have the woe is me mentality. And sometimes when you're going through these trials, you might have to be alone. A lot of people don't like to be alone. You hear me? Did you hear me on that? But some of these trials involved you having to be alone. And sometimes the Most High will remove things from your life, from you, to build up certain character traits that you need. This is real, man. Everybody goes through that. They got people out there scared to be by themselves, but it's trials and tribulations and stepping stones at the most. Now, stepping stone that's a part when taking a trial and tribulation and turning it into a stepping stone. It's when the mindset has to be there of you realize what this is. It's a realization thing. And just that moment, understanding that this we looking at, this is something I got to go through. No, this is a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone to greatness. Once you adopt that mentality, then all of that changes. Then you walk through it with dignity, whatever the case may be. Obtain your dignity, hold your dignity. Even when they throwing bows and arrows at you and talking shit about you and slander your name. Like they said, man, they talk, you know what, about Jesus, man. They threw bows and arrows literally at him. So if he can go through it, you can go through it. Greatness is in you, is in him, is in you. And whoever you see as a religious figure in these different religions, man, they went through it. Every last one of these people went through trials, some of the worst trials and tribulations, but they kept their faith. They kept their dignity. They didn't sell out. See, that's be a part of the greatness here, because there's the cheap road is the sellout road, where you sell out to these weak ass forces out here. But if you stay strong, you get the blessing. You have it anyway. They are damned because they cheated, because they wasn't supposed to do that. They're damned. So like I say, man, dignity when you're going through that, and you're going to go through some trials and tribulations. Don't have the woe is me. And if you meet somebody and they do something, whatever the case may be, you got to keep your head up, keep your dignity, realize who you are. And once you do that, man, you're going to see stuff. You're going to go through it. You're going to get everything that you deserve. I'm telling you, you realize, because you know that aspect's like, man, this is a trial, man. And they may be difficult, but at the end of the day, in the back of your mind, you understand, man, I'm going to make it through this because the blessing is just so great. That blessing is so great. Getting that extra key of development puts you on par to be the greatest you could be. Man, that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. They don't talk like that, man. But that's what that real game is, man. Yeah, it's tough down here. Yeah. Yeah, people, they got some dirty ass people out here. Yes. But hey, listen, man, that ain't you. You one of the great ones. But you ordered to be great. You can't just say it, man. Great. You got to beat them great trials and tribulations and convert them to stepping stones. And then you get that blessing. Then you have that long period of peace and tranquility and enjoying that blessing. And then when you get to that next level, new devil. That's how I go. That's a part of the game and just what it is. I'm just keeping it real. I'm telling you the facts. What's up, Colorado? Big ups to you. English says, can this be fixed if Smug Mickey stays on after firing Alan Q? Can it be fixed? It depends on who he hires, bro. Because I was asking the question at the end of the recap stream yesterday that if they fired Dennis Allen, who would Mickey Loomis pick as an interim coach to salvage the season? And will be the coach next year if you don't want the interim coach? You get what I'm saying? It would have to be a complete wiping out of the team, which would eliminate the timeline. Like, so if you still have DeMario Davis and Cam Jordan on 2-year contracts, whoever it is, will have to then take the team on the same respective timeline. So it all depends on Mickey Loomis. So it's so convoluted because my response is the Saints are not going to fire Mickey Loomis because he has the security of having two jobs. He's the VP and GM. I firmly request that for change to happen, you got to fire Dennis Allen because he's not the right man for the job. Let's just keep it real. And then the second component, or really after you get rid of Dennis Allen, or first, depending on however you look at it, Mickey Loomis has to be stripped away of his his general manager title. He can keep the VP title because he's good at that, but he has to be stripped away of the general manager title, and somebody else has to be appointed the general manager. You allow him to go and find his coach. So whoever the interim coach is going to be up until next year when they go into the hiring cycle, and see if they go talk to people and see if they can bring a respectable coach in here to take what the Saints have, build on top of it, and move into the future. Then things change. Then you might be looking at a new quarterback because you're going to have a new coach here. They might not feel Spencer is the answer. They might want to draft the quarterback in next year's draft. They might want to go after Shador or one of these other quarterbacks that's out here, that'll be coming into the NFL's draft. You never know, you see, so it depends. It's a very interesting question, bro, but firing Dennis Allen and reformatting the office of the top of the Saints organization is necessary. We have to do that for real success to kick in and for us to modernize the Saints upper echelons of the organization needs to change. It's just too antiquated, and Mickey Loomis has too much power, and he's not come with anything. He keep doing the same stuff. A lot of his moves are ego driven, and he tripping like he's the big guy. Oh, listen, I did all of this. God damn it, I'm Mickey Loomis. You must not have heard of me, huh? Well, let me tell you something. I won the Super Bowl. I hired Sean Payton. It's all, man. I'm like, no. You did hire Sean Payton, but Sean Payton was the one that ran everything. Sean Payton made it all go. He told you just was an expensive gopher. That's what you was, Mickey Loomis. Let's just keep it a buck. You're an expensive gopher because you as great as you believe you were, then you wouldn't have hired Dennis Allen. Nobody in their right mind would have hired Dennis Allen. Nobody wanted to hire Dennis Allen as a head coach. Did we get a inkling of a thought on that when this happened? Did he interview with anybody else for a job? No. This was totally a good old boy hire. It was totally disrespectful from many levels because they had more qualified coaches in terms of head coaches that did the job before successfully that they interviewed, and they picked this guy. They ran a sham hiring cycle. So no, Mickey Loomis needs to lose his GM position. He's done enough. He's been in there for years, man. And besides, he's not going to be unemployed. He's still the VP. But they need to strip away the general manager job, and they need to create another press. They need to put and this is just me, and watch they steal it because I've been saying this for years. Gail Benson needs to hire, like I said, she needs to hire her own personal football person and basketball person who are advisors, who are incredibly gifted advisors. They're part of the executive programs. They have Hall of Fame experience as players on the basketball and football side of things. And the president's job, which is currently Dennis Lausch's position, needs to be a guy or a girl like that on the defense, on the basketball side. Like Swin Cash should be the president of basketball operations for the Pelicans. She is a Hall of Famer. She won gold medals. She won championships. She's won at every level. She's a pure out winner. She should be the president of basketball operations, not David Griffin, who's nothing but a political spill, a BS artist. He's a bullshit artist. We know that championship he won with Cleveland, that was because of LeBron telling them what players to go get. Just like Mickey Loomis. He is literally the basketball version of Mickey Loomis, but just not as arrogant and cocky, because David Griffin knows better than to sit up here and tell people that they're not qualified to judge his decisions on football. You don't have shit to say about you when you're giving them love, but when the moment you say, man, what you doing with this salary cap? Oh, you're not qualified, guy. I don't believe I asked for your opinion, did I? Well, that's the problem with the world. It's like, let me tell you, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. That kind of guy. He'll say that. He'll say crazy stuff like that. He tell people they're not qualified. He said it twice. I'm too emotional to do my job. I'm emotional. I don't do in-season evaluation. That's right. I don't do in-season evaluations because I'm too emotional. I'm emotional when we win, and I'm emotional when they lose. So you're just collecting a check for nothing. You're not doing any evaluations. In-season evaluations, he said that. Unbelievable. But they don't do nothing about it. So my thing for the Saints would be to take Dennis Lauscher and create a financial position for who he really is. He's not a president of football operations because he don't know nothing about football on the field. We need a former player who played at a high level that went through the NFL executive program to become the president of the Saints in terms of football. He would be the guy over Mickey Loomis, and Dennis Lauscher position is created like an assistant CFO, with Gail obviously being a chief financial officer. He's in the assistant CFO. So he's there, but in a different capacity. It has nothing to do with the football. He handles the business of football, which is sponsorships and all this kind of stuff, right? But the president, the actual president position, needs to be a guy that knows football and is, like I said, part of the NFL executive program, played football at a high level in the NFL, has a track record of winning in different programs, and he's there. He's the president. Mickey's the vice president under him. New general manager, Kai Hartley. And you go there, and that's a start. You do those two things, pulling the general manager position away from him, giving it to Kai Hartley, and finding another person to be the vice president. The president of football operations, who's not Lauscher, but creating a separate position like an assistant CFO to Gail and giving that to him. So he still retains his power in that way, but having a football man over football. We just solved the problem. It was no bullshit right there. It was none of that. I just gave them an answer. Just said what they can do to reformize and modernize the hierarchy of the New Orleans Saints organization. I just added intelligence and just modernized the staff and put more high IQ people in areas high up in the team for decision makers that need to be, except for Mickey Loomis. Now there's more than one opinion. That's not Mickey Loomis that's in there. He's a part of three people making opinions, which means more than likely he'll agree with what they say. He's not going to fight those people on that. He still has the VP job. He can rear back. Just gave him the answer, man. That you won't see change. There you go. I've been saying that, man. Watch they taking it perverted some kind of way. Say, oh, QB, you say that. Darius says, would you rather have a QB with 11 years experience that has no chance to win a ring, or a young QB that promised and potentially a successful career? I just wish another team would take Carr now. Well, we got him, brother. If you look at his contract, the Saints are kind of hamstrung with Derek Carr in his contract, which is Mickey Loomis did that. What I would do is, bro, right now, just for the money, because you ain't gonna be able to trade him. You just gotta get him a running attack and let Spencer develop naturally. And then in time, when he gets out of here, we can just move Spencer in there. That's the game plan. But yeah, it's the Carr thing, man, is real tough, fam, to be honest with you. It's real tough. All right, let me get a few more of these. Chantel, what's happening, babe? She says, Q, remember when we got the right people in the bed? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I hope so, man. Because I really want to see it, man. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. These tough times bring us together. Like, we celebrating wins, we celebrating losses, but boy, you build character, you build the best things inside of a human being when you go through trial and tribulation. Let me tell you something. Notice that it's a different effect because everybody deals with success relatively the same way, don't we? Everybody knows when how success hits. We all deal with it uniformly well, but it's the one we don't. Only the best of us deal with the trials and tribulations and turn them into stepping stones. That's that real deal there. That's where we need some character development. You heard that? We need character development. That's where it come from. Darkside Secure in the Saints Nation using the Rattler rookie card. LOL, that rookie card got more rewards than American Express. Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, he is. He's definitely perpetuating the fraud. All right, big ups, man. Any more questions, man? All right. All right. L Dub says, you're a preacher because I'm going through that right now. Bro, a lot of stuff, man. I just be dropping game. I really don't like just be just saying stuff. Sometimes, man, let me tell you, it's universally people are going through the same things at different levels. I'm just gonna keep it in because you might have a person over here that might be a little bit more advanced maturity wise, but they're going through the same thing in a different way. Like it's the same thing, but at different levels, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because we all universally connected. This is the reality. Like the individual, like the Most High granted people the opportunity to be individual, to have a choice. But the reality is you never separated. You know, when we say, when you get somewhere and you separated away from everybody else, that's time for character development. Like that's time of meditation and prayer. Like when the Most High separates you away from people and all of the noise, that's when you start getting into your bag and start realizing who you are. Oftentimes society flips the truth to the opposite. Like whatever they're telling you is usually the opposite. Like when they tell you, if you go on a spiritual voyage, like people say they got to go over here to find themselves and all this kind of stuff. And you heard that before, right? A lot of times the journey is not an outward journey. The journey is an inward journey. You go inside, like you look for truth in yourself. And a lot of times, like all this stuff you're not just meat and bones. Like even the scientists break you down and see how spectacular the Most High put us together. Even within our genes, it's not just shows who we are, that you're going to have brown eyes, brown skin, whatever the case may be, or you're going to be 6'2", 6'3", whatever the case may be. But it's also an amalgamation of literally decades and centuries of people that you come from. And you have all of the experiences, you have all of their knowledge, all within you. So you're basically a walking encyclopedia of information that's tied to your families, your family, their family, the family, your mother's family, the father's family, all that. And then when her family, his family, and then their family, and going all the way back beyond, you're a collection of all that information. So at times, to open up the library that is the genetics or the genes, the information, they tell you that RNA, DNA is information, but they don't tell you that the information is not just you, how tall and how your eyes is going to be. It's also a collection of information that your parents knew, their parents knew, going all the way back. That's in you. That's what you're made of. So if you're looking for answers, you are the answer and the question. How do you access that? That comes with prayer and meditation and talking to the Most High, which is in here. Man, it's a lot of stuff. You just got to get along. You got to get into your bag. It's not deep. The Most High don't make nothing complicated, family. You don't have to go over here and go pay $100 to go let this guy talk to you or that guy, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff in you already. You just got to get somewhere and you got to ask yourself the right questions and be patient until the answers come, because some answers come faster than others. And that's because some answers you're ready for, some of them you're not. Some of it requires patience because to get the answer to certain questions, you got a certain amount of questions that you got to get answers for before you get to where you need to be. That's how it's designed. And if the universe, Most High, feel like you're ready for it, you'll get it. If you're not, just be patient. And that's what I'm saying, man. That's what they don't tell you all that, because the Most High is walking with you. He in you every day. So don't be depressed. Don't be obsessed. Don't be depressed, suppressed, or depressed. You're the greatest creation in the world. That's why they was scared. That's why they was afraid of you. That's why they was hating on you. That's why the demons run around and try to get you to do F stuff all the time. They try to get you and lie to you to be this, that, to violate your body, to violate, sell out, all that kind of stuff. Why are you the focus of attention? If they feel like they so much greater than you, why they spend all their time trying to tear you down? Little old you, what is it about little old you that got them so worried, baby? You better realize who you are. It's talking real talk, man. True talk here. Brother Edward says, Q, what up, Q? We need to let Allen and Carr go simple. Yeah, we got to talk to Mickey on that. Thank you. Fuck too kind. Appreciate you, bro, for that, Brother Edward, man. Thank you for the super chat. Much love. Mr. O says, I felt appreciate that trials and tribulations. Q needed to hear that. Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. We going through the same stuff, fam. I'm telling y'all. That's why we all linked. We all linked, going through the same experience in different ways. Listen to me on that. It's the same stuff in different levels, in different ways. Why is it different? Why is it different levels? Because we all on different levels. In many ways, we just different, but the same. That's the beauty of it. Different, but the same. Equal, but unequal. Balanced, but unbalanced. All at the same time, dealing with different perspectives. Because mine is different from yours. We might share some ideologies, but not all same. We might differ here or there, agree here or there. That's balance. That's the beauty of it. I mean, it's so much, man. It's so much loveliness, man, to be honest with you, man. We just got to clean up a few things, man, do some correction there, man. It's all good. All right. Anyway, let's keep it going, man. I don't see many questions, man. Y'all just got a lot of great comments there, man. So many of them. All right. Okay. Inevitable says Q. One of the worst decisions was letting Trey walk. We should have did what we could do to keep that guy. Trey Henderson. Yeah. Yeah, that turned out to be a situation that didn't really age well, did it? Because we let Trey Henderson walk for Marcus Davenport. But Trey Henderson, to be fair to the Saints, he was a guy that didn't stay healthy. In the final year of his contract, he played and he had all those sacks. And people thought, man, you mean to tell me he could do that? And he was hurt every year except for his contract year. He balled out his contract year. Saints already drafted Davenport. He could have had 100 sacks in that year. They wasn't going to keep him. They had to move on past him. So it was one of them situations like he didn't show that type of potential the first 3 years. Like he was good, but we didn't realize he was that good because he couldn't stay healthy. So when he did it in the contract year, he was like, man, that's no, you had that feeling. Then they had Davenport and it didn't age well. But, that's what I seen. Jermaine says, Q, the Saints organization don't show me any signs of being aggressive or wanting to win. That's why I'm feeling they will keep DA around. They can't keep him around, bro, because you are not going to let it happen. They can't see. That's why I was saying, Mickey Loomis, even though Mickey Loomis is up here ego tripping, it's your job to get this corrected, man. He up here ego tripping, thinking he the man. He ain't running nothing. When we say enough is enough, we gonna pull that money away from you. Gail Benson gonna say get rid of him because Dennis Allen ain't worth losing tens of millions of dollars of support from the family base. See, that's the thing when you know your power. See, that's what we own now. That's what I was saying, man. The only reason why these people got it is because we advocated. We didn't do it. That's why I was saying about not blaming people. I know it's hard to. Because we've been programmed to point the finger because the political people blame each other all the time and they both evil. They both evil people. They really are. They're a bunch of liars too. They're evil, evil liars. And they only get away with it because we allow them to. But it's being a part where like you starting to really see them as liars and weaklings. And you starting seeing it all unravel. You starting to see all the little games because it's all deception, interwoven just like the skin of an onion. Then you start peeling that onion away level by level and realize what's going on here. It's just not, they've been lying and just lying and tearing up the truth, saying mislies and truths. But that's not going to last in this era of time. That's why a lot of the stuff that's going on is coming to light. So what's going on? Well, it's always been the case, but it's the time right now when all those things are going to be revealed. And that means this and everything. The people, they're using all this tech to brainwash the people. The high-powered, high technology brainwashing is going on right now. Like I said before, I've seen people, families that love each other and fought for each other, helped each other at odds because of who they voting for. This other guy won't vote for this guy. This other lady won't vote for this lady, and they at odds with each other. That ain't nothing but supreme high-tech programming. These people are fighting so they can keep power. Because whatever they telling you going to do, 9 times 10, they ain't going to do it. But if you got a guy there and they trying to shoot at him all the time, it's very interesting though at the same time because the other people ain't getting shot at. Who trying to shoot this other guy? They don't like that other person to shoot at them either. you see them. It's a Chris something. It's crazy, but at the same time, man, y'all keep y'all sanity, man, and stay focused and turn that shit off a lot, man. If you want control, don't join these parties. Start your own party or get with a different party or something, because they can't do this without them operating together. It's a whole little game that they running. They pretending to not like each other, but they eat dinner together. They do. It's like the WWE. They do that all the time. But if you want control, you're gonna have to run for it. I know we got teachers and firefighters and all these other different people out here, truck drivers, all this. But if you want to change the society and system, you don't have to sit for it to go into the toilet. Just stop supporting the degeneracy. Turn it off. Don't give your money to it. Shun them, because they're going to shun you. They talk mess about you and all this. Shun them. Shun their ass, because they can't survive without your energy anyway. Turn them vampires off, man. Get them the hell out of here. Brandon says, Q, do you think would it be better for Rattler to finish the season or Carr with no air? With no air? With a running game, probably Carr give us the best chance to win with no run. Because if you give him a run in the game, you take the ball out of his hand, he's a secondary member, you can win with him like that. But if we just, because you're not going, contractually speaking, even if you make the necessary changes, you're going to be stuck with Carr contractually speaking, because what this guy on the screen did. You want all of the accolades, but none of the criticism for what he did to the team. Disrespectful handling of the cap situation has totally destroyed the Saints cap for the next couple of years, this year, the next year, until the Saints really start getting relief, because it's irresponsibility in the cap. But you won't be known as great, but you don't want me to talk about the fact that you screwed the team with these bad money decisions. So, I mean, yeah, we're not going to be able to get from up under Carr's no great break here. You know, even if you fire Dennis Allen, you still have to deal with the repercussions of his bad decision making. It doesn't all end because you get rid of Allen. You get what I'm saying? It's only the beginning to the healing of the process. So even if people tell you all the Saints need to do is get rid of Dennis Allen, no, because you have to deal with the bad decisions Dennis have made since he's been here over the last 3 years that have shipped the Saints. It's not a quick fix or a quick cut. It's only the beginning in the healing process. If you get rid of him, then you will have to then course correct and find out which way you in places of where you need to be. What's up, Truth Hurts? Big up to you. And that's the best I could say on it, fam. Because we won't fire Dennis Allen. T Dirty, what's up, bro? If you fire the guy, like I said, you still got to deal with the repercussions of his actions. You have to still salvage the season and find out what went wrong under his guidance and find out what pieces you need to add to fix the offense to get him to run. You got to get the defense together. That's why I was saying whoever you put over the team got to be a guy that has some experience and knows how to talk to people. That's why I recommended Joe Woods. Like, and somebody said to me, Q, well, Joe Woods, he over the defense. No, Dennis Allen runs the defense. Dennis Allen calls the defensive plays. In that game, in the Tampa Bay game, Dennis Allen had the play sheet, and he was calling defensive plays. That was Dennis Allen. That wasn't Joe Woods. I've been advocating for Joe Woods to be the defensive coordinator to call the play so Dennis Allen can focus on his team overall. He didn't want to do it. So now you got to suffer. So no, it's not going to be a quick fix. It rarely is a quick fix like that. You know, when you got a three-man been screwing this team up for 3 years. For 3 damn years, he's been screwing this team up. Thank you, brother Scott. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. You're fuck too kind.
Thank you, bro. I mean, that's just real spill, man. You don't get no realer than that, bro. That's what it goes. I'm sorry if I missed y'all questions, man. I thought I got everything, man. I didn't see anything else, man. All right. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Jane Doe says another dumb move by DA. Why did he announce QB so early? He announced it. Well, he said himself that he didn't want to play any games. He wanted to release it early. And people asked him, why did you do it so early? Even if you was going to play Spencer Rattler, you could have had him in there practicing. There was no need for you to just announce it right away so they can prepare for you, you know. And even if he did that, you know, it was a little bit of an advantage they could have had. I mean, they really didn't have much film on him, so they had the advantage. They didn't know what Spencer looked like. I mean, you could look at some stuff in preseason, I imagine, and get an idea. But it probably would have worked if the Saints would have had a running attack. They could not keep the ball away from the team. They couldn't run. And he keep losing games, fam, because one of the biggest points we have, and offensively speaking, is we can't run the ball. So I'm like, if you know the problem, fix it. And what's fixing it? Go and get other offensive linemen and making the point of emphasis, we want to run the ball. If you got to get big guys that claw, whatever you got to do, because the tackles, I'm good with my tackles, Penning and Fuaga. I'm good with those guys. But these interior guys, man, is not working. We cannot run the ball. We can't wait for Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz and Lucas Patrick and those guys to come back. We have to be able to find guys now who can run the football. We got to. We can't wait for those men, because by the time you wait for them, your season's gonna be in a hole, man. You're gonna be 3-4 games behind the Falcons and the Bucs. You can't wait. You got to go. And he didn't do that. He didn't move good enough to go and improve the offensive line. And now we're here. He's here. So it's all about decision making. You could say it all. We could say it all we want, fam. In the end, it's up to him to move around and do what he got to do. And to me, all I know is there's no state of urgency in this guy's face. There's no state of urgency. He's a defeated guy, man. The energy speaking, man, it's a defeated man, bro. When he got up on that press conference at the end of that Chiefs game, I was like, not with the Bucs game. Hell, with the Chiefs game too, with the Bucs game, you could have popped him with a pen. That's how he looked up there. You know how you had them inflatable 2-men flail in a ray? You go up there and pop it, that shit fold over like and it's like, that's for sure. Yeah, we lost the game. But it still didn't come with an apology, did it? He didn't apologize to your ass, did he? True Hurt says, Q, I'm tired of watching Saints games. I'd rather hear you. I try to have fun with it, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Yes, man. T Dirty said, say, bro, stop showing this clown, Q. All right, there we go. T Dirty. From one clown to another. At least he show you something. I don't know. I'm about to throw up here. Yeah, this is how we feel watching Saints football. This face says it all right here. T Dirty said that's worse. Eastsider said he was trying to get Spencer. I don't know, man. DC told me a conspiracy theory about that. He called me and I was like, nah, bro. He told me because this y'all probably heard it. It's probably been floating around. I don't know. He told me a conspiracy theory that Spencer Rattler is trying to sabotage Dennis Allen. Did y'all hear that? Put one in the chat if y'all heard that. Put one in the chat. It was a clip. Y'all send that to my email too, man. It was a clip of Dennis Allen fussing at Clint Kubiak, I think it was. I think it was for the Chiefs game. Wasn't he fussing at? Was he fussing at him on one of the games? I want to say it was the Chiefs game. Y'all send me the clip of that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I told DC, I kind of laughed at it. I was like, nah, man, nah. I don't think he's that Machiavellian. I think he just sucks in adjustment. Clint Kubiak he just sucks at adjusting, man. He really does. He sucks at it. Overloads players. He overloads injured players too much, and he hadn't figured that out yet. You got to use all your people if you're trying to win, bro. He's not doing that, and he's suffering. We suffering watching it, but at the end of the day, like I said, this is necessary, man. Only the best make it through, man. Had Allen and I hosted Simmons, we'd have been here too. Could have, would have, should have. Mad Drummer said, "Now, Big Q, I may be late, but what we doing?" Wide receiver this week. What's up, Mad Drummer? Shout out to you, brother. Well, we'll see, man. There's a couple of wide receivers on the practice squad right now. It's too late to bring a free agent wide receiver in here and bring him. I wish you probably wish you still had A.T. Perry, don't you? Huh? How you think the Saints feel about they should have kept A.T. Perry with injuries mounting? Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave. You got Cedric Wilson Jr. where they're dealing with an ankle. And You have Cedric Wilson that done really anything. Mason Tipton, who had a few plays, not really not much popping. You have Bub Means that did well. That's Spencer's favorite target. And then you have everybody else. You're going to see Equimius St. Brown probably get activated. Equimius is definitely going to get activated. We could use a big body wide receiver like him. The Saints offense been missing that. Cedric Wilson's supposed to be the vet, but getting Equimius in there, and he probably won't play that much. He'll be out there doing his thing. And plus they got the wide receiver Marvin Austin Jr., I think his name is, undrafted wide receiver that Saints have on the practice squad. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see those men get called into action, or at least one of them get called into action for the Denver game, because it's not enough time to bring in a free agent guy to get them acclimated to what they're doing. It just makes more sense for them to rely on the practice squad guys, and that's who we have. So we'll see. And that's what we got going on, man. There's not much to talk about on that. All right. Big ups, fam. Yeah, Jordan says same BS. DA get rid of. Yeah. We're going to see, fam. We're going to see. Wendell says fire Allen. Sorry, but today. Now, they're not. This guy ain't going to do it, bro. He ain't going to do it, man. He governs with his ego, not with common sense or results for that matter. He doesn't govern. He doesn't govern statistically. He doesn't govern with results. He governs with ego. He can't possibly have made a bad decision at the QB position. That's this guy's thought problem at the head coach position. No, I don't make no mistakes. I pick Sean Payton. I pick Payton. Dennis Allen he can't conceive that he made a bad bet, though. Look at your film. This dude here is out of touch, man. That's why I said what I said, man. A good general manager would have fired Dennis Allen after that 4-game slide, because he wouldn't let him poison the rest of the season. We 2 games behind these other people. You can still salvage the season if you make the correct decision. That's why it's like you get rid of him. As soon as you get rid of him, the faster we can course correct. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to be trying to figure out if he wins a game. Even if he beats Sean Payton, do you not understand that's not the end of it? Just because if he snaps the snag by 3 points, let's say they beat him by 3, that still don't fix anything. That just keeps prolonging it. This guy is not going to make the call to get rid of him until you on a 7-game losing streak or something like that. But you're not going to get on a 7-game losing streak. You do realize that, right? It's not going to be like that. What's going to happen is sooner or later they're going to win the game, and then they're going to lose a couple more. Y'all do realize it's going to happen. Like I'm not going to even say it. I'm just going to butt my mouth on that. I'm just forget what I just said. Forget what I just said. Forget what I just said. All right. If I was secure, if we cut Carr next year, how big is the cap hit? I don't know the money, bro, but I know you take a heavy hit with him, bro, because they restructured this contract. Now, had that worked prior to the restructuring, you might have had something like that. You might have been able to absorb that, but you can't cut Carr, because that'll be a massive hit on you, and you ain't really working with nothing. Your team is going to be, you're not going to be able to do anything in free agency. You got a bunch of people you ain't going to be able to sign. So we like I said, it's not a hatchet job. Like you just hack this bitch off right here, and then next thing you know, we good. It don't work like that. You got to fix everything you screwed up. You start the process to heal. That's what it's about. You started. But he had 3 years of doing this to your team. It's not going to be something overnight. It's not going to be a quick fix. But anyway, listen, I'm going to get ready to get out on that. Yeah. Anthony says t-shirt ideas all make it. What's up, KB? Shout out to you. I don't think it's over, bro. It's early on. It would happen like this is a good way to do it. But like I said, man, we're here to see how it all plays, man. But if we had a general manager with brains and somebody that wasn't governing themselves with ego, we would see some real stuff happen. Jay Rod, I was hard on the Debo for the longest for all the penalties, but I realized DA been matching them up with wide receivers and man coverage that are faster than him. Shaking my head, no adjustments on defense. The guy, Xavier Worthy was the fastest guy. And I think he's the fastest guy in the NFL. I know he was the fastest man at the combine. I think he is the fastest guy in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, him covering him, that wasn't a very easy cover at all, but he did as decent a job you would expect him to have. he's been targeted more. Like if you look at his statistics, his stats in terms of his interceptions, his tackles, because they've been targeting Adebo. They're not going at Laddie Daddy like that. They're not going at Laddie Daddy. They're going at him. And they ain't even playing with Alante that bad. Alante playing really high. So they got to throw at somebody. So they pick Paulson Adebo to be the guy they go to. And now that he has all these pass interference, they feel like they can play with him. Now they can target him. And he'll give up a play or whatever the case may be. But he has solid statistics, fam. But, you know, at the end of the day, he'll even tell you that, man, I got to do better than that. Even Joe Woods say that when Joe Woods comes out every week and talks about that, and they ask him about what's up with Paulson Adebo, and Joe said basically that he got to clean up what he does at the top of the route, right? You know, coming out of the stance, doing what you're supposed to do. And he said you got to clean that up and he'll be fine. That's what he talked about. So yeah, he gets toasted because somebody gonna get thrown at, and Paulson Adebo is getting targeted by the other team. As the year mounts, they say that he'll, you know, he gives up the big play. He just got the, you know, it's a pay year for Paulson Adebo. He looking to get a lot of money, man. So he had an interception. He had some plays. He been catching some. And Paulson Adebo's numbers aren't that bad, man. To be honest with you, fam, his numbers are actually pretty good. As a matter of fact, he had like 10 tackles in the game, in the last game. And look, let me show you his statistics on the season, man. Paulson Adebo, despite all of the penalties that he been going on with Paulson Adebo, 40 tackles, 3 interceptions, 10 pass defense, and the tackles he is listed as 3rd in the NFL. The interceptions is tied for 3rd in the NFL, and pass defense is tied for 1st in the NFL. So Paulson Adebo actually, if you know, penalties aside, has really good stats for a contract year. So, you know, somebody gonna pay the man. You know, so his stats ain't bad. He just got to clean, like Coach Wood say, he got to clean a lot of that stuff up there. But he having a pretty solid year, man. We got to watch out. He just got to clean it up. All right. So anyway, yes, yeah. What's up, Barbara? Barbara says Cabote got cut. Yeah, he got cut for that offensive lineman the Saints picked up. I forgot the man's name, but they activated him last week for the Tampa Bay. I mean, for the Buck game. He's a 9-year veteran. I think they cut him for a spot to clear up for him. So, yes, indeed. No, I don't think. Yeah, no. Hold on. Chantel's asking about Mike Thomas. No, I don't think so, Chantel. No Mike Thomas. No Mike T. No Mike Thomas. I don't think the Saints turn to Michael Thomas. No. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Inevitable says, Benson doesn't care about the results. All she cares about is the millions coming in. 2nd richest person in the state behind the chicken dude from Raising Cane's. He's the big boss on the block. Can't guard. Juice says Adebo is a safety, man. He is hurting us at corner. Like I just showed the statistics, bro. I mean, I can't. You're right on the penalties, man. The penalties are costly, especially the penalty that penalty that lost us the game against the Falcons was Adebo. He didn't even look for the ball. He just passed interference to guy that put the guy in the field goal range, and he kicked the Saints into a loss. That was a bad one there, you know. And that he can't do that, man. He can't do that. He got to do his best. That's what I'm saying. He got to do his best. Anyway, with that being said, fam, I'm gonna get ready to get on that. I appreciate, man, y'all for chiming in, man. Much love to y'all, man. As always, for popping in. I know we got a ton of stuff going on with our injury situation, fam. But listen, like I said, it's all trials and tribulations, and it's stepping stones to greatness. And this is how we're gonna get there. These are the things. These are the times where teams and people are tested. And if the Saints are a contender, you know, they'll rise to the occasion. If they're a pretender, they'll sink. But at the same time, they'll sink, but we'll cut away all of the fat. All of the liars will be exposed. All of the frauds and no duels they'll be exposed, so we can get rid of them. So there'll be no need to hide a Dennis Allen. And because of Mickey, Dennis Allen's here because of Mickey Loomis. They're joining at the hip, if you ask me. Derek Carr's here because of Dennis Allen. So even when Dennis Allen is fired, you still got to deal with the bad contract of the coach. You still got some type of way, depending on how the Saints handle it with Mickey Loomis. Dennis Allen is not the start of it. It's really Mickey Loomis running this and doing all of this. He was the one that set all this in motion. So if he's still there, you know, it's a part. He's a part of this funk, a big part of it. So yeah, it is what it is. John says, "Am I allowed to jump off the ship yet?" No, John, stay with y'all, man. Stay with y'all. It's too early in the season, my friend. It's too early in the season, man. It's so much football left. Don't jump off the ship, John. Do not jump off the ship. Just be a, just be a party that just be an observer, man, and just watch what happened, bro. Because I'm telling you, this will get all of the people out of here, off the team that don't deserve to be here, that have been stifling and not getting the wins, man. Listen, this will be like a purification process, right? Getting all the crap out of here. This is what this is. So don't jump off the ship. Whatever you do, if you can, get close enough to Dennis Allen, push his ass off the ship, but you stay on the ship. KB says, "Yo, Q, do you notice Dennis Allen tone and posture in these interviews?" Yes, I have. He says, "I have a job. I have job security." He talks without urgency. Yeah, he does, bro. But Dennis Allen's, I watched enough Dennis Allen's interviews to know that Mickey Loomis probably is telling the man, "Hey, man, Dennis, listen, man, regardless of that big Q guy over there, listen, let me tell you something. I don't lie now, man. Don't you listen to that guy. I can tell you something. Don't you dare listen. You got good security with me. You're going to be on the team. Am I, Mickey? Am I all right? You're going to be on. You're going to take care of me. Listen, buddy. Listen here, Buckle. I'll tell you something. You're good. You're good. Listen, I got you. I got you, baby. No, don't listen. Because he ain't got shit. Because he can't pay for all them tickets. He can't pay for all them concessions. He can't pay for all that merch. He can't pay for all that parking. We can. And when we say we want that guy gone, keep your money in your pocket. We'll get him going. People want Dennis Allen fired. You want to learn how to do it? Keep your money in your pocket. Tailgate at your own house. Don't take your butt down there to them games and give your money away and these people disrespecting you. You got a guy arrogant as hell and Mickey Loomis sitting up there telling people they're not qualified, and they're reacting off of his bad decisions. He got the nerve to be mad at you for the F stuff. About to say something that he's doing. Just keeping it a whole being. That's the craziness of this crazy mindset of this program. That's stuff that they got going on out here. People's minds, a lot of people's minds are just warped to think that everything these people do is correct and that you can't question them or be termed something other than a ride or die person. Ride or die person doesn't mean that you go with somebody because they disrespected. A ride or die rides with you because they love you and they respect you. Because to me, respect is love. If in a relationship with me, if you don't have no respect for me, there ain't no relationship. If I ain't got no respect for you, there ain't no relationship. You got it twisted. That's an unhealthy one-way relationship that's detrimental, cruel, and evil. If you have a symbiotic relationship with somebody, it's a give and a get on a positive level. It's not the fact that I'm giving you all of the resources. Don't you understand what we talk about on the level when we talk about, executing or emphasizing your authority in a situation? We give them everything. They don't pay any taxes. She don't pay any taxes or very little taxes. That's how you get rich. That's how she get rich. You get all of this money from these teams. They make tens of millions and billions of dollars. They buy up all this real estate. They got all these car dealerships that they buy up. They're taking all this money and that they're getting from you because they're not paying a lot of taxes. They don't pay no rent on those buildings. They don't pay for that Smoothie King Center rent on that building. They don't pay rent on the Superdome. Who paying on it? You doing it. When you see that shit all lit up like a Christmas tree, they got lights on the dome, you paid for that. Who paying the power bill? You paying for that. So all you didn't turn around and do is ask them, we want you to win. And they saying, well, you're not qualified. Oh, this shit's over with. This over with. It's a power dynamic where you don't let nobody talk to you like that. You somebody. You don't let nobody listen. Let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all, many of my experienced people know this, man, because they've been through this more than one time to understand what their value is. So my young people might not know. They might think you have to go through something like that to stay up with somebody. Let me tell you something. They're not the prize you are. A ride or die person is a person that have love, respect, and trust for the person that they're riding with. They know that not only they're going to go through it with them, but they're going to help them go through it. They're a couple, whatever I go through, you go through with me. And when I get up, we get up. That's ride or die. That's 100% commitment. And it doesn't exist without respect and love. Do you get that? So there ain't no situation where the man is higher than a woman or the woman higher than the man because she might have something more than him, or he might have something more than her. No. Ride or die people is all about respect. Respect, love, and trust, which is not valued nowadays. It's the culture of get your bag by any means necessary, which means you got to do cutthroat shit. You got to violate your body, whatever you got to do, girlfriend, get your bag. Nah, the hell with that. I ain't going to tell no woman to go get her bag if it involves her. I ain't going to tell you to go get that bag if it's something that's going to come back to you, brother. If you're doing something in the streets you have no business doing in the streets, you got to reap the horrible reward for what you're doing. And you going to get it too. And if you don't get it, and guess what? If it's worse enough, your children going to get it. That's where generational curses come from. Something that you did that was so egregious, it bleeds through to your children are cursed. They don't understand. You think you can walk around here and avoid all of the shit that go on this planet. This place been here for millions of years. Some say thousands, some say millions, but it's been here a long time. But game is, man, doing something positive and progressive that doesn't, or productive that doesn't hurt anybody around you. That's how you reap out. That's how you get the blessing. Anything else, you're just cursing yourself, man, and you're creating something that's short term. You can't beat the Most High, man. Your arm's too short to box with God. They say that because you can't beat the rules. There is no exemption for the rule. You got to follow the rule to have success long term. I'm not a person that's going to ever speak to people because I don't believe in that myself. I'm not going to tell you to go get with somebody because they got a little bit more than you know, because they probably cursed. They probably got that shit accursed when you get with this person and you curse by what they doing. No, don't do it. Cherish yourself, and the world don't even tell you that. They don't tell you to cherish your body, cherish your mind, cherish yourself. They don't tell you that. They tell you that if it got an agenda for something that they want you to get involved with. But it's for the ladies, it's all about my choice, my decision. But when it come down for you to go and get that whatchamacallit. Oh no, you ain't got that. You got to go get, man, listen, man. At the end of the day, man, listen, we all come from the same source. You can't play us against each other. That's devil work. You can't play people, women against men, because we need each other. That's a half of a half make a whole. You got the feminine energy. We got the masculine energy. That's how the Most High designed it. Two halves make a whole. That's why they always quick to take they attack that, because that's divinity there. Anything that's organic and natural, they try to shoot at it and destroy it. You can't let them do that, man. I don't care if they rain these little weak ass comments or whatever at you. They don't mean anything because they're already defeated. They can't play with you, man. So like I said, man, at the end of the day, don't fall for the rhetoric that's out here. I see too many stupid ass little shows where they got these women up here and they showing off their body and then they complaining that men don't want to pay attention to them. Lady, listen, please. I know you think you feeling you got a beautiful body and all that, but listen, don't do that. Don't show yourself, because he gonna mirror the energy that you sending out. If you want the man to respect your mind, don't be out there half naked. Cover yourself up. I know what they saying and showing on the movie, but these are whores. When we start listening to whores, man, I mean, seriously, we start listening to whores. Gary, what you need to do, man? Shut up, man. It is the same thing with these dudes with this pimp nonsense, man. It's crazy ass dogs out here. Man, what you need to do, man? You get 3 or 4 women. Shut up, fool. What you talking about? Oh, man. Listen, man. No, we greater than this, man. Don't let them people tear your family up, fam. With this political nonsense, don't let them pull it up, man. No matter what they do, they can't beat you. You God's child, man. Did you hear me? They can't beat you. You God's child. Don't you understand that? They can't beat you. You God's child. The best they can do is try to tear you down before the sight of the Most High. And then again, even if you do transgress, all you have to do is realize you God's child and step up to reclaim. They can't beat you. They try all they may. They can't beat you. They 365, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They constantly attack you, but you still God's child. And they can't get that away from you. They already beat. We done won. You got to step up and claim it. Don't sit down and say I won, but make moves, make changes in your house, make changes to yourself first, and be the example that you want people to be. Clean yourself up. Do what you need to do. You know what you need to do. Hell, you know, and if you don't know, sit your ass down and go read something or pray, meditate and gain clarity for what you need to do. Stop making excuses, my people. Claim your greatness. You God's child. That's enough from me, man. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here, man. The people I've been saying, man, people, you need to have a channel where you talk like this, man. It'll just get blocked. You'll just get blocked. Did you hear what he said? He said, yeah, I'm telling men and women to love each other, man. I'm telling them to be respectful of each other. I'm telling a woman not to bear herself to the world and want respect from people. You don't do that. You got to be able to be presentable to get, the right people. You don't want what you're getting. You don't want, why am I getting this? Because it's you're presenting it wrong. And what are you getting? Because whatever energies you're sending out there, that's what you're getting back. So you got to change that. You got to look at it and reinvent that. If you want people to respect your mind, cover yourself up. If you find you got all this voluptuousness going on here, cover yourself up. Because we're just going to look. But if you got somebody about the mind and respect, we'll respect you on that level, because that's where I'm on. I'm like, man, having a beautiful woman is one thing, but if you can have somebody you can talk to in dialogue like this, then, man, you got something right there. And remember, what was it, man? Help me out, Black Preacher, man. About, what was it, a virtuous woman? Y'all look that up. Look up, my ladies out there that know, they know what I'm talking about, but my ones that don't know, look up what a virtuous woman is. Start putting that on your hashtag virtuous woman. And not only just say it, but live it. Live out what it means. And how that virtuous woman is worth her weight in gold and is the most valuable woman on the planet. Virtuous woman. Look that up. Because that's what we need. That's what we want. All these other clowns out here, sexy red, man, get your ass out of here. No. We don't need the Nickies. We don't need the sexy red people. We don't need the gorillas, the glorilla, or the Rilla, what's her name? The gorilla lady, gorilla, whatever her name is. That's really weird that she would put it that close to gorilla. And that's just, I don't know. But anyway, all I'm saying is look that up, man. That's what we need to aim for. And the men need to do it too. That's my image in my head that I see. When I think about women, I don't look at all these old other fast ass women out there, because I know you ain't gonna be around long, especially what they putting out here in these streets. That shit made to kill your ass. They know who they aiming it at. And them type of people, they already gone, baby. You can't be like that out here. You gotta know how to move in this age, and that ain't it. They already got them. Anyway, I'm gone, man. I done talked enough. I hope I helped somebody, but listen, I appreciate y'all for chiming in. Please feel free to hit the like button. Hit the Glorilla lady, the gorillas lady. Well, I mean, I can't. What's her name is? It's Gorilla. Is it Gorilla or Glorilla? I don't know. Anyway, her. it's like 3 or 4 of them it's 4 or 5, 3 or 4 of them here that's out here just making people look bad, man. I don't want that no more. Let's get rid of that, because they ain't got nothing counterbalancing that. We need to have, images of positive, and they don't play that on the radio, obviously, because they want to destroy image. But at some point, we got to get the game, fam. They've been doing this for years. At some point, if we don't feed into it, it won't have the same result. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, you trying to get her money, but go do something else that don't involve destroying the community to get it. You are an enemy to me if you participate in anything that pertains to stuff like that. Go to school, go do something else. You don't have to go to school, go drive a truck, whatever, go pick up a trade somewhere. You don't have to do that and deface the community like that. Cause that, to me, I ain't rocking with that. We done had enough of that, man. That need to go away, and we need to make it go away. We need to stop it. And the way you do it is you don't support it. We teach our children about it, and we don't support this nonsense anymore, because they're just using it to destroy you, making you look bad, making your face of your community, our community, look bad by having that out there as that. And we can't allow that no more, because it will be used to demoralize, used to dehumanize you first, and then ultimately dehumanization leads to extermination. That's how they did it. That's what history tells us. They talk bad about you. It's not everybody, but they talk, certain groups do that. We seen it happen in Germany. That's how they got after the Jewish folk, when that guy was talking all that kind of crazy shit. And then he started talking bad about them, bad on the radio, putting out print on them, making them look bad images. And the next thing you know, he started putting them in ovens and shit. History, man. Listen, history, man. The bad word comes first, the demoralization, then everything else comes. That's history saying that. That's not me. That's how history, they do it in history. So you got to fight against that at all costs if you know what's best for you. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one, man. Much love to y'all. Peace. Y'all check out our sponsors in the sponsor section, man, as well. Big ups to those guys for helping the stream out. Teej, Mint Mobile, and Bet Online, man. Y'all know what time it is. The link's in the description section below. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll be back on Patreon. Also, I got a couple of videos that I'm putting out on Q with Big Q, the On Q library. It's a couple of things I uploaded a couple of days ago with a lot of good information and game about stuff, medical and all this kind of stuff. I always try to keep the library banging for my Patreon people. It's a lot out there. But anyway, I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow on Patreon. Much love to y'all. Who that, Pete?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees are Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Bet Online is the world's world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup, breakdown, even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, NBA to political props. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet online. The game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue.
Show us the edge.